All right, Shalom Israel. All right, good to see you. Welcome back for all the brothers and sisters that are viewing in class. Shalom, and to those that are viewing on social media, shalom to you as well. And we want to bring another class out. Not so much current events, but as we watch current events, we know that some missiles that were American made just recently hit some Russian targets. So we have yet to see the recourse of Russia and the consequence for those American-made missiles landing on Russian soil, hitting some Russian depots and fuel reserve tanks. So we have yet to see the recourse of that. But one thing we do know is that with all these events, according to Scripture and prophecy, we can go to Romans 13 and 10 real quick. And want to give a shout out to brothers that are teaching this truth, spreading this gospel all over, from Houston, isbhpk, Houston, isbhpk, Virginia, isbhpk, New York, Rochester. I want to say shalom to all those brothers in the water for keeping up the good work in these last days. We need to get out this word as much as possible. And before we go there, let's read Romans chapter 10 real quick. Before we go there, Romans chapter 10 and read verse 15 real quick.
Romans chapter 10, verse 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent?
Go ahead.
As it is written, how beautiful are the...
It says how what?
How beautiful.
How beautiful, go ahead.
Are the feet of them.
How beautiful are the feet of them that what?
That preach the gospel
of peace. So we want to say it is a beautiful thing for all them brothers out spreading this gospel, trying to wake our people up as much and as fast and as often as possible. For those brothers that believe the same thing we believe, that the Most High and Christ died for the nation of Israel, His chosen people, the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I want to say shalom to all the brothers bringing comfort with the scriptures, through the scriptures, in these last terrible days that's about to be upon us. For we have yet to experience some of the things that these other nations that are getting bombarded with bombs experience, but who's to say that that's not coming right soon? So let's go from there. Let's go to real quick Romans chapter 11 verse 13:11. I'm sorry, 13:11. From there.
Romans chapter 13 verse 11. And that knowing the time.
Go ahead.
That now it is high time.
And that's why the class is called Ring the Alarm, Sound the Trumpet, man. It's called Ring the Alarm, Sound the Trumpet is the name of the class. Because now it's what?
Now it is high time.
It's critical time. Go ahead.
To awake out of sleep.
For our people to wake out of what? Sleep. Our people. You don't have to be in the bed to be asleep. You just have to be unconscious or unaware of what's going on around you. And that's what we're going to get into, is that it's necessary for our people in these last days to awake out of any sleep, whether that is by imagination of whatever it is that they have going on in their thought process, whatever their achievement may be as far as what they try to obtain through work or a field of hobby, or passion, whatever their pursuit of passion is. We've got to wake up out of that, because really there's not a lot of time left. Not a lot of time left to get things right and to get back right with the Most High. So it's necessary that we do ring the alarm as much as possible and sound the trumpet, which is the title of the class. But as we finding out, our people are still caught up into their pastimes. Our people are still caught up into their ideals and what their pursuits. Whether it be the love of cars or whether it be the love of money, the pursuit of happiness through money, through financial gain and success, whether it's through achievements, personal achievements, through sports. No matter how many bombs are being dropped worldwide, they still keep basketball games going, football games going, tournaments going, playoffs going, the draft, NBA or NFL draft going. They still got something to keep our people occupied.
The Roman circus is still in session.
The Roman circus is still in session. Yes, give them games and entertainment. And and when things get real bad, they pull out a movie that you didn't even know was coming out. They drop a movie out of nowhere that you've been waiting on. Yeah, you've been waiting on it for a long time. Or so and so drop an album out the blue that you didn't know, unannounced. To keep your mind and your ears occupied. So whatever the case may be, Our people have to do what? Romans 13:11 says what?
It's high time
Go ahead.
to awake out of sleep.
Go ahead.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed.
It says, for now our salvation is closer than when we believe, than we think. We don't know the time nor the hour that the Most High is going to send back Christ. And we're going to see the second coming of Christ for two purposes, for destruction and also for retrieving and securing the ones that he came to get, that stood stiffly for his word. You know, so we don't know that time nor the hour. But whatever that time is, we got to prepare ourselves and be prepared as much as possible. Now, the verse we got on the screen that we're starting with is Genesis chapter 49, verse 9. Now, somebody, let's get Genesis chapter 49, verse 9. Genesis 49 and 9. Got the little babies in here. Yeah.
You ready?
Yep. Read that.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 9 reads, Judah is a lion's whelp.
It says Judah is a what?
Lion's
A
whelp.
lion's whelp is a young lion, like a young cub. It's a lion's whelp. Go ahead.
From the prey, my son,
Go ahead.
thou art grown up.
Now, when you got a young lion is strong. It's got potential. You know what I'm saying? It's eager. It's hungry. Go ahead.
Thou art grown up.
Go ahead.
He stooped down.
He said he stooped down. He crouched down. He get in position to leap, or he get in position to attack. Go ahead.
He stooped down.
He stooped down.
He couched as a lion.
Go ahead. As a lion hiding amongst the
So he's
thickets.
ready to go.
He's ready to go. Judah looks like that. Judah been looking like they're ready to
They always
go.
look like they're ready to
Nat,
go.
Nat Turner to the 60s to
Even in the BLM marches.
BLM
Brothers.
or what Rodney King, man. When the cities were burning,
Riots.
the Watts riots in the 60s, it looked like they was ready to go. They was ready to do some damage or some overturn. You know, you got tired of marching.
Yeah.
You got tired of marching and petitioning,
Yeah.
picketing,
Bang.
asking for, civil liberties and rights.
Holding hands all day.
Yeah, holding hands, getting stoned, being hit with rocks, getting bussed on buses, getting stoned or pulled off buses, being put in jail, getting beat down first, or just getting pulled out of cars and being shot, or get firebombed in churches with little kids in the church. It's a lot of things that our people been through that you would think that, okay, enough is enough. But as soon as you think that, okay, enough is enough, we're going to stand up and stand together, what happens? Election time comes.
Yep.
And then we think voting's going to do it. Or sports come out.
Oh, yeah.
We become athletic.
Hell, it's the Lakers versus the
Yeah.
Celtics.
Just so happened, your favorite team's in the playoffs now. You know what happens to our people? Read on.
He couched as a lion.
So he looks like he's ready to overcome his situation. Come out of his situation. Read on.
And as an old lion.
And as an old lion, one that's tired, that sleep all day.
Yeah.
As an old lion, he does what?
Who shall rouse him up?
Who gonna wake him up out of his sleep?
Back to sleep.
He go right back to sleep. The children of Israel, like, soon as somebody gets shot on live stream television or by phones or social media, we want to go out and picket and riot.
Go to war.
We want to break into stores and burn stores down, blow it up, burn it down. You know, we want justice. We want justice now. And then all they do is draw out the court case.
Every time.
The court case take like a year.
A year and a half sometimes.
Yeah, the brother that got shot down by the 3 Edomite men that was jogging, Ahmaud Arbery. It took a year to get his case resolved, and even in that, it wasn't really true justice.
It's not spread for our people.
You know, but all they do is just stretch it out, stretch the court case out, come back and revisit it a year later. By that time, you got so much going on in your life, you almost forgot that the case was still pending. They have a way of putting our people right back to sleep. But that's what the Most High asked that question: who's gonna what?
Who shall rouse him up?
Who shall rouse up the children of Israel, Judah in particular? Who's gonna wake him up? You right at the point where he looks like he's gonna do some type of movement, make some type of movement that's gonna pursue our people and push our people forward. You know what they do? As soon as you get tired of as soon as you get tired of the two Bushes, or you came out the Reagan era, you get tired of both Bushes doing 2 terms apiece. Oh no, I take that back. You come out the Reagan era, you know, where things were really bad. Bush won, he gets 2 terms, and then you get Clinton, he gets 2 terms, and that's when you're classified as a super predator. And then Bush Jr. comes, and then he gets 2 terms, and then right when you like, man, we had enough of this. What you would never thought you would ever see is a black man in the White House.
Just the image of it.
And what did that do to our people?
Right back to sleep.
Put us right back to sleep.
Put him to sleep because he didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing.
He didn't do nothing.
Remember the whole campaign was about change. That was the theme. Change. Then the other one was what? Hope. Hope was the other one. The second term. The first.
I forgot. I disconnected.
Yeah, I forgot the second one.
The first one was about change, and everybody just knew something was going to change. And something's about to change.
False hope.
and then when he got in office, you know, people was crying, people was praying, people they got on the bus. They made a movie about it. Get on the bus.
They made a song about it too.
Get on the bus so you can go see the inauguration. Get your tickets now for the inauguration. You just knew something was going to be different. He said, but he said Judah's like an old lion, man. He said, who gonna rouse him up? Now who gonna wake Judah up out of sleep? That's just the nature of our people. You know what I'm saying? Read that one more time.
Come. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 9. You want me to read from the top?
Just read it one more time.
Come. Verse 9 from the top. Judah is a lion's whelp.
Go ahead.
From the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
Go ahead.
He stooped down.
Read.
He couched as a lion.
Right.
And as in lion, Salaki. And as an old lion.
As a what?
As an old lion.
As an old lion, what does he do?
Who shall rouse him up?
Who gonna wake him up, man? You know, the truth of it is, our people, you know, scriptures say, surely oppression shall make a wise man mad, right? So we watch the oppression, we get angry, we want to do something, we want to see some change. But as much as we want to see change, guess what? You got to go back to work on Monday.
Yeah, I work on Monday.
You got to go back to work on Monday because your bills are due. Your bills are due, electricity due, water's due, everything, rent is due, daycare is due, everything, child support is due, everything's due. And so you got to go back to work. You can't be too angry because you can't separate too much from your position, because you're stuck to this position that requires your attention. So you're never really able to get free. You're never able to get policy that really enables and strengthens your people. You never, and then by doing so, you start losing hope. You start losing the idea that the Most High is coming back. Now, the scriptures say this. I got to get this too real quick. Romans.
You want to come back to this or?
No, you can let that go. Let me get this real quick in Romans. It's Romans chapter. I know everybody's kind of coming in and. No, I'm sorry. 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 3. Read verse 9.
2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise.
It says the Lord is not what?
Slack concerning his promise.
But what we think the Most High, because nothing's ever changed, no matter what policy, no matter what president, no matter what happens, everything stays the same. So we stop losing hope that the Most High is ever going to change anything, and He's ever going to fulfill His promise. So our people go back to sleep because we stop believing, because the Most High is taking too long as far as transpiring the events that He said was going to happen.
Because you're waiting, you're on the edge of your seat, and then things go back to normal.
Things go back to normal, and then things go right back as they were, as they seem, and then we go back to sleep. We take our foot off the gas. Read on.
As some men count slackness.
He said, but some men, their faith is based upon a time frame. Meaning, if I don't see the Most High come back this weekend, we all thought COVID was going to shut everything down, go into complete anarchy and bring about martial law, that people was gonna lose it. They had the stay at home restrictions. People did start getting antsy. They start doing stay at home meals and stay at home routines. They started creating stay at home tactics to keep their mind occupied. But you thought, when things shut down, you thought, okay, man, this might be it. People had masks on. People had 3-4 masks on, gloves on, with Lysol and Purell, hand sanitizer bottles sold out everywhere.
They argue with you in the grocery store about where's your mask?
6 feet distance.
Yeah.
People can't give a damn about that no more. People ain't really caring as much as they are. Because you know why? They going back to sleep. It's not that big. We made it through it, so in that idea, it's not that bad, man. Things are going back to normal.
But that was the
because
answer.
people want normalcy. They want things to be normal again, so they can go back to their routines. Because some people say, well, nothing's changed. My routine is the same, so I got time. Or the Most High is coming. I could fulfill a few, knock off a couple wish lists. Knock off some things and check the things off on the bucket list. I can travel. I can get some vacation time in. I can do such and such.
Live my life.
I can live my life a little bit. I got time for error or, to figure things out and be curious about life. He says some men count slackness, meaning as long as the Most High ain't came back yet, I don't have to take life serious. If Christ ain't here right now, I can still do me. I still got time. That's how some men operate. Read on.
But is long suffering.
They say, but the Most High is what?
But is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish.
Oh, you know what the Most High is doing? We're mismanaging the time, thinking that we got time to fulfill pleasure, not realizing that the Most High is giving us time. The reason He hasn't sent back Christ yet is to give us more time to get right, to give us more time to wake up out of sleep. We're misunderstanding the intentions of what the Most High is doing by not sending Christ right away.
True.
Read on.
But that all should come to repentance.
That all should what?
Come to repentance.
So what is the Most High? What am I supposed to be doing with this time frame?
Repentance.
I'm supposed to be trying to come to repentance. I should be trying to come to some type of repentance. Change. That is change. Not the Obama change. Real change. Converting your sins. Trying to pursue a pardon from the Most High to omit your mistakes. Read on.
2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
It says, but the day of the Lord shall come as what?
A thief in the night.
How does a thief come?
While you're asleep, by surprise.
By surprise, when you sleep, when you're not paying attention.
Unexpected.
Unexpected. That's what a thief. That's his whole ideal, is to catch you off guard. Because if he knew you were ready, you would defend yourself.
You're prepared for him.
You've been prepared for him. So he's showing how when Christ returns, He's coming back like a thief in the night, meaning when you least expect it. This is when Christ is going to show up. When you thought I had more time and I can still do me, and I still got time to figure out my life and maybe execute some of my pleasure.
That's true.
No, it's not gonna happen that way. And that's why it says, who gonna rouse up Judah? Who gonna rouse him up? Who gonna wake him up like an old lion? He fall back asleep. Every time we get on the edge of, okay, we gotta do something. We gotta make some decisions.
As a nation
of people, as a household, as a body, as a camp, so on and so forth. We go right back to sleep because we're miscalculating the time frame. We're not conscious of it. 1 Corinthians 1:22. And what's so sad about this? Read that right there.
Come. 1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 22 reads, for the Jews require a sign.
What's so sad about this?
For the Jews require a sign.
We're not doing nothing until something like COVID happens. We're not making no changes. We're not making none. We're not making no changes until something really bad has to happen.
Huh?
You got to see George Floyd get his neck crushed for 9 minutes straight and get exterminated on live public TV. Executed on live TV for us before we say that's enough. Before we say it's too much. Other than that, if it's nothing extreme, if the Most High don't send us no signs, we go back to what?
Sleep.
We go back to sleep.
Sleep, business as usual.
Business as usual. You know, I got to keep my routine going. So that's the sad part about it is for us as a people, as a nation, we need a sign in order to start making changes. He said, but the what?
For the Jews require a sign.
Go ahead.
And the Greeks seek after wisdom.
You know what's so crazy? The Greeks don't even need a sign. That's what's so sad about us as a people. The Greeks don't need a sign in order to know that they got to make changes. Somebody real quick, pull up Plato, man. You know, he's a Greek philosopher. You know, pull up Plato real quick as a Greek philosopher. Pull him up real fast.
Plato.
Yep.
Okay.
Somebody read that.
Just right there.
Yeah, just whatever you got on Wikipedia, it don't matter. Just pull it up.
Greek. Plato, philosopher, was a Greek philosopher born in Athens during the classical period in ancient Greece. He founded the Platonist school of thought in the academy, the first institution of higher learning in the Western world.
So he said, now, real quick, it says Plato believed that it is necessary to suppress bodily desires so that the soul can be free to search for knowledge.
Read that again.
He said the Jews require a sign, right? We need something to happen before we make changes. He said, but the Greeks seek after what?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Now, this was Plato's thoughts. He says Plato believed that it is necessary to suppress bodily desires. That means your flesh, your impulses, your whatever your passions are, whatever your fleshly impulses, passions, whatever you want that comes from your appetite. Your lust is what he's referring to. He says Plato believed that it is necessary to suppress bodily desires so that the soul can be free to search for knowledge. What is he saying? What is he saying?
He's saying you gotta basically discipline yourself in order to get wisdom.
Bingo. He says you gotta restrain yourself. You gotta restrain yourself from your own personal lust, so that your soul, that inner being, could elevate to a higher status or higher state of being, can become more virtuous. He said, so the Greeks, they don't need, that's what's so sad about us as a people. We need something to blow up, burn down, to collapse. We need something tragic to happen or something extreme for us to say, man, you know what, maybe I should quit. It's not until the doctor said, hey man, we gotta remove your left lung.
Oh, it's time to change. Time for a change.
Because you know you develop emphysema and you got black lung in your left lung and there's tumors in your left lung. Maybe I should quit smoking. Maybe I should stop.
That's pretty slow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I should quit at this point.
Yeah.
Or I gotta wait until my kidneys aren't working that great for the doctor to say, hey, you need to put the drink down.
That's a real one.
Or your liver is not filtering your blood. The kidneys are not filtering your blood. Your liver is failing. Maybe I need to stop drinking. This is what's so sad about us as a people. We have to wait for extreme situations that are damn near life-threatening, and some of them are, before we start recognizing that maybe there is a time for us to change in order for me to elevate who I am as a person? Why wait till all is lost and all fails in order for me to determine that I got to make changes? But that's the Jews. That's what the Most High said about us more than anybody else. He said the Greeks, they don't need something bad to happen to say that they got to get on top of themselves. He said they seek after wisdom, just like we read about Plato. So read that one more time in 1 Corinthians.
Come, 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 22 reads, "For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom."
And the Greeks seek after what?
Wisdom.
Another ideal of Greek philosophy is ethical thinking, meaning what type of thoughts are ethical and what is not ethical. What is appropriate thinking and what's not. That's what they sought after. And talking about the old Greeks, the classical Greeks, sought after knowledge, sought after wisdom. What is that definition of ethical thought?
Ethical thought, the view that one ought to deny one's lower desires.
It says the view that one ought to deny one's what?
Lower desires.
So you had lower desires, like indulgence, overindulgence of wine, of sex, of pursuit of money, of prosperity. These overindulgences of pleasure. Go ahead. Which we read a couple weeks ago about hedonism. Hedonism is the Roman ideal of everything in life is there for your pleasure. He said the Greeks didn't do that. He said they had a thought that one ought to deny one's lower desires. Go ahead.
As sensuous or bodily, in contrast with one's spiritual desires.
It says that you should put a difference between. There should be a difference between and a denial of your lower desires, so that you can accentuate or excel in what?
And desires as with one's spiritual desires and virtuous aspirations.
Go ahead.
Became a central principle in ethical thought.
Now the Greeks didn't even have the scriptures like we have. The Greeks later got the scriptures converted out of Hebrew into Greek. But they didn't have the knowledge of the Most High wasn't given to them. They had saw the beauty of, and you can read this in the Josephus. They saw the beauty of the scriptures and the wisdom that the Jews had, and they wanted to adopt that. So they said, "Man, we gotta get this translated into Greek." That's how they got the scriptures, because they appreciated the wisdom that we possessed. And so through they obtained a better level of consciousness through our studies, through what was given to us from the Most High. Look how much another nation appreciates what we have at our liberty, but in our disposal, but we don't use it. We got to learn by shock and awe, or we got to learn the hard way by failure. Trial and error is the ways that we decide to make changes in our life. These are the ways that we say, "Man, you know what? I finally had enough. Something's got to change. Something's got to give." Either I'm doing things my way. You go ahead. Either I'm doing things my way, and it never works.
We have to have these major rock bottoms.
Yeah, we got to hit rock bottom in order to say, okay, it's time to make a change. It's usually that way for us as a people. When people who the Bible wasn't even written for can see the wisdom in it and pursue a higher level of thinking and more virtuous frame of mind. But we don't do that as a people. That's what's sad about us as a people. So when you look at how the Most High feels about that, and that's what class is kind of what is about. How does the Most High feel about the fact that we put off change until the very last minute, or we put off change until something drastic has to happen? The Most High been saying in Proverbs 1 about, and you bring this up all the time, how the Most High said,
I would laugh at calamities.
I would laugh at your calamities.
Yeah, he said he stuck his hand out all day.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't regard it.
They said no man regard it. The Most High been trying to reach out to us as a people, but we don't regard that. He said, "Oh, you simple ones, how long you simple ones love simplicity?" Or something like that. Get that.
Fools hate knowledge.
It's Proverbs 1:22, I believe.
Proverbs 1:22. It says, "How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scornings?"
Right. So how long are you gonna have your objective of looking at things your way versus what I've been trying to get you to see this whole time.
Gone.
I've been trying to get you to develop a frame of mind for a long period of time, but you want to do things your way. One definition of the word or synonym for the word simple is stupid.
Yeah.
How long you gonna keep doing things your way, which makes no sense to the Most High at all whatsoever?
It don't benefit us spiritually.
It doesn't, and that's what the Most High has an issue with, is the time that it takes for us to grab on to change. That the time that it takes a major catastrophic event for us to say, okay, I gotta change.
You gotta fucking fix this.
Yeah, I gotta fix it. I gotta do better.
Man, my liver's not working anymore. I gotta change.
I gotta be a better man. All right, so let that go, and let's go to Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 8.
Jeremiah 6 and 8.
Let them get it.
All right.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 8.
Hold on, let me get it. All right, go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 8. Be thou instructed.
It says what?
Be thou instructed.
It says, be thou what?
Instructed.
And so that's all that the Most High has been asking for from us for a long period of time. I just want you to be instructed. Let me, us as Israelites, we're only as good as we are humble. Our value is in our humility and our ability to receive instruction. Just like it says about a virtuous woman. A virtuous woman's power is in her ability to be instructed. Now, if you can. If not, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I know we got some people allergic to them in here.
Nah, you know what?
Yeah. Let's get the brother Bible and watch the wasp there right there. If you can get the wasp, get him. If not, be careful. Get the brother Bible and
That's him. Get right there.
get the brother Bible and Apocrypha. How you doing, brother? All right. Good to
How's
see
it
you.
going, fam?
All right. All right. So get the blue Bible also, so we know.
You got the blue. You got the blue.
You got the blue one?
It's all
You got
good.
it?
It's all
See if we
here.
can-
All right. I'll do that. All right.
I got a Bible.
You got one? Okay. You need a pocket? All right.
Oh, okay.
You got a pocket for the brother? All right. Okay. All right. In the blue Bible, what page we on, Jeriah?
Page 362.
All right. We're on page 362. We're in Jeremiah chapter 6, and we're gonna kind of slowly go through. We're gonna start at verse 8 and kind of slowly work our way down.
So it takes Israel, it takes our people, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans, it takes them a long time to take change serious.
Right. It takes brothers a long time, us as a people, as a nation,
Mhm.
it takes us a long time to develop the idea that something has to change. Usually it's through major circumstances like jail, prison, the fear of jail or the fear of prison, long term,
Yeah.
loss of life,
Yep.
or loss of bodily parts,
Yeah.
organs, liver's going bad. I got to get a stent in my heart
Yep.
because I didn't want to stop the drug use or smoking, or now my heart's failing, my liver's failing, my kidneys are
Now I gotta
failing.
stop eating pork.
Or now that my arteries are clogged and I got high cholesterol and I'm a candidate for diabetes and stroke.
Yeah.
Then it's not until these things that we say, okay, I got to do something. So the Most High has been saying, listen, I've been trying to give you instruction that would benefit your life. I've been trying to give you instruction that would excel you as a person. You didn't have to submit yourself to tragedy before you realize that there's something that has to change. You don't have to submit to tragedy first. And that's what the Most High is explaining in Jeremiah chapter 6. Let's read that, verse 8.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 8. Be thou instructed, O Jerusalem, lest my soul depart from thee.
He says, number one, he says, what is the signs that we need to see? He says the Jews require a sign. What's the first sign that will happen to you when you don't change? What's sign number one?
He'll leave you.
The Most High will do what?
Leave you.
That exactly. The Most High will turn his back on you. That's number one. That could be all of it. That could be the first and the last thing you would ever want. That's the worst thing that could ever happen to you. But the Most High said, I'll do that first.
Yeah.
He said, read that one more time.
God, be thou instructed, O Jerusalem, lest my soul depart from thee.
He said, if you don't change, if you don't come to the notion that you have to elevate who you are as a person before it's too late, because it says that our salvation is nearer than what we have believed. It says, wake out of sleep. So he says the first thing that'll happen is the Most High will take his presence from you. When the Most High takes his presence from you, then he opens the door for other spirits to come in. And that's the Most High's hand of protection that the Most High has over you. Once the Most High removes that hand of protection from you, then this is when wicked and vile spirits come in.
So it's not the Most High is there, he steps away and nothing happens. Nothing starts to come against me.
Right.
There's immediate change of the guard.
Yep. Say, explain that. Explain that. I like what you're saying.
Well, it's like this. In a room, you have oxygen, you have air, right? So when this air flows out, more air has to flow in. It's not just going to be two things occupying the same space at the same time. In your spirit, you have righteous intentions, righteous mindsets, righteous spirits. So the Most High is with you. But when I touch negative, when I touch sin, when I entertain evil, when I entertain maliciousness, when I play with unaccountability, when I play with folly, when I entertain my flesh, then that entertaining of the flesh is a door for spirits that are already waiting to invade. They're waiting to invade. The Most High has been protecting. Just like Job. We read about Job.
Yeah.
What was Job's case? Satan said, I can't deal with him because you have a hedge about him. But when we sit here and entertain the flesh,
A hedge is a fence.
a hedge is a fence. It's a fence and protection. You're supposed to put a hedge about everything in your life. But when we start to engage and touch negative and deviate, we open a door to that hedge. And that allows those spirits to penetrate and start influencing everything in your life in the negative direction.
Yep. Matter of fact, read that. Job chapter 1, verse 9. Job chapter 1, verse 9. You can tell what page you got.
260 in the blue book.
Page 260 in the Blue Bible.
Job chapter 1, verse 9. Then Satan answered the Most High and said, Doth Job fear the Most High for naught?
Meaning, is his fear for you only for one reason? Does he really, really fear you? Does he really have this idea that he respects you to the fullest? Because a lot of people say that. He said, but Satan is betting his bottom dollar that I can prove that this man really doesn't really love you like he say he does. Satan is betting on the idea that Job's love and fear of the Most High is conditional and is fickle and is wavering. All he's saying is what? Read on.
Verse 10. Has not thou made an hedge about him?
He said Satan is guaranteeing that the only reason he fears you is because you're protecting him. You're surrounding him. You haven't pulled your spirit from him, which is that hand of protection. Read on.
Has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house?
Go ahead.
And about all that he hath on every side?
Everything about this man you have him protected. There's a fence around his household. You have a fence and a barrier around his children. Don't you know Satan is doing his homework? Satan is already trying to figure out what's vulnerable, what's a vulnerable opportunity to get in. Satan's already on his job. He's saying, man, I'm trying to come through by way of the kids. I'm trying to come through the household. I'm trying to come through him. He said, but you got him protected on all sides. I can't get in. Read on.
Thou hast blessed the work of his hands.
And you blessed the work of his hands. Read on.
And his substance.
And his monetary stability, his economics, his economy is strong. Read on.
And his substance is increased in the land.
Go ahead.
But put forth thine hand now.
But what he's saying is, take off that protection that you have off of this man and let me touch him. being that left hand of the Most High. He said, put forth thine hand, meaning he's asking the Most High for permission. Give me permission to touch this man. That's what Satan is asking the Most High for. Satan has said, I can prove to you that this man really doesn't believe like he say he does. He said, but let me touch him. Read on.
And touch all that he hath.
Let me touch him. Let me touch his house. Let me touch his family. Let me touch his kids. Let me touch his substance. Let me touch things that pertain to him. The things that he has an affection for. The things that he cares about. He said, let me touch those things. Read on.
And he will curse thee to thy face.
And he'll do what?
And he will curse thee to thy face.
Showing you that this man's love for you is conditional. That's what Satan wants to guarantee. But we're learning even through this chapter, can Satan just come to you unless he gets permission by the Most High? Yet he has to have permission. He just can't invade you. He just can't attack you. You know why? Because the Most High has that barrier around you. He has that fence around you.
Whether you're conscious of it or unconscious of it.
Yep.
You acknowledge the Most High or you don't acknowledge the Most High.
Yep. And so he says, let that go and go back to Jeremiah 6 and 8.
Jeremiah 6 and 8 from the top. Be thou instructed, O Jerusalem.
He said, but I want you to get instructed. I'm trying to teach you something. Read on.
Lest my soul depart from thee.
He said, but if my soul departs from you, then what spirit is going to come to you if the Most High's hand removes from you? He's going to let these demons get to you.
They're going to have some fun.
They're going to have their way. They're going to have their way, and they're going to touch you. They're going to touch everything about you.
Because I've been rejecting knowledge. Because it says be instructed.
Yep.
I've been rejecting humility. I've been rejecting instruction. I've really been rejecting attendance of the scriptures or acknowledging the Father. Because I've been rejecting that, the Most High has a spiritual consequence for that.
Yep.
My defenses are getting weak. My hedge is getting weak.
Yep.
Satan's getting permission. In the background, that's what's happening.
That's what's happening. Read on. That's number one. Read on.
Lest I make thee desolate.
And that's number two. The Most High will strip. When the Most High removes his presence from you, not only will these other spirits you'll be vulnerable to these other spirits, but also, he says, the Most High will make thee what?
Desolate.
The Most High will make thee desolate. Meaning what? What does desolate mean? Empty. To lack. He'll strip away everything you own. So what the Most High is saying, if you don't let me give you instruction, then I'm gonna pull off my presence, and I'm gonna strip everything, because we already know who's gonna strip everything. Satan gonna do it.
That's his job.
That's his job, to touch everything that you care about and make you desolate. That's he gonna let Satan
talk about me. No.
He gonna let Satan. It's been all of us, brother.
Yeah.
This is all of us.
Golly.
This ain't just you, but it's all of us. You know what? A lot of us have not allowed the Most High to give us instruction. A lot of us have run from instruction, or evaded instruction, or denied instruction. A lot of us are guilty of that. That's why it says the Jews require a sign. It's not until something bad has to happen before we say, uh-oh, I need to get right.
Can I pull desolate?
God.
Desolate. Destitute or depraved of inhabitants. Denoting either being stripped of inhabitants. It says, laid waste in a ruinous condition. Neglected. It says solitary. Without a companion. Afflicted.
So the Most High will strip your companion. Also, he'll strip you out of your household. He said, because he said that to be taken out of a habitation, right? That means when you're not right with the Most High, he'll hit your house. He'll hit your personal life. Then starts the couch surfing. Now I'm looking. Hey man, then the phone start. I gotta pick up the phone. Hey, you ain't gonna believe what happened, man. I just need a couple of days. If you can just give me a couple of days, let me get on my feet. Let me get through the weekend. You know, I'm gonna get up on my feet. I'm gonna find. Just let me. You know what I'm saying? Let me just hold me down for a couple of days. Give me about a week. And you know
a week.
You know what our people will say when they say a week. They really mean what?
A month.
2 days.
A month. A month.
You know or our people mean until you kick me out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna push it as long as I can. But that's us. But you know, that's when the Most High not operating, not blessing you. Because he's rooting you up. He's making you desolate. He's stripping you. And that's what the Most High said is a result of not wanting to receive his instruction. That's when he starts foiling all of your plans. All of your ideals and your goals and your visions and your plans that you had set up that you just knew was going to work. He scratches all those ideas out. All those pursuits come to nothing. They all fail. Then it's like, man, what did I go wrong? What am I doing? What did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? Where did I go wrong? I must have made a mistake. I must have did something wrong. Something must not have been right.
Why does Satan get opportunity to go ahead and penetrate my head?
You know why? Because in our mind we had a fail-proof system. We had a fail-proof plan that failed. We thought it was fail-proof.
Yeah.
Read on.
God says, lest I make thee desolate, a land not inhabited.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. This is Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 9. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel.
The Most High said, I'm gonna have your enemies upon you, and they're gonna thoroughly glean the remnant of what?
Of Israel.
Go ahead.
A vine.
As a vine, right? As you take grapes off a vine, as you take grapes off of a tree or a vine, you pluck it. Read on.
Turn back thine hand as a grape gatherer.
He says, turn back thine hand as a what?
Grape gatherer into the basket.
He says that's how they gonna get you. He said, I'm gonna let your enemies take full advantage of you, and they're gonna take everything from you. That, like it says in Obadiah. Go to Obadiah chapter 1, and let's read verse 5.
Yeah.
Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 5. Read.
Read Obadiah chapter 1 verse 1 real quick so we know what he's talking about.
Come. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 1 reads, the vision of Obadiah.
Read on.
Thus said the Lord power concerning Edom.
Concerning who?
Edom.
Edom is Idumean. Edom is the man who is the forefather, the progenitor of the Edomite nation. So when you read about Edom, he's talking about Esau. I apologize. Esau is the progenitor of the Edomite nation. He's the forefather of the Edomite nation. And to prove that, you can go to Genesis real quick. Go to Genesis and give me Genesis chapter 36. Give me Genesis chapter 36. Start at verse 1.
Genesis chapter 36 and verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom.
Who is Esau?
Who is Edom.
Read verse 8.
Verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom.
Esau is who?
Edom.
So Esau is the forefather, the progenitor of the Edomite nation. So as we read about this vision of Obadiah, he's talking about the nation of people, not just the one man. He's talking about the so-called white man. Esau is the so-called white man. He's saying Esau is Edom. He's talking this Obadiah is a prophecy about the so-called white man. So let's read this again in Obadiah chapter 1 verse 1.
Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 1 reads from the top. The vision of Obadiah. Thus said the Lord power concerning Edom.
Esau is Edom, right? Go ahead.
We have heard a rumor from the Lord.
Jump down to verse 5 because we want to get to the point. Go
verse
ahead.
5.
We just want to establish who this whole vision was against. Read on.
Verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off?
Go ahead.
Will they not have stolen till they have enough?
He says, man, you've stolen every place you've landed on. You've raped, robbed, and pillaged and stolen. When you landed on Africa, you split up Africa. The race for Africa got split up between the Dutch, the British, the Dutch Caucasian, the British Caucasian, the French Caucasian, the Spanish Caucasian, the Italian Caucasian. Everybody had a hand. All the Caucasian nations had a hand in Africa. When they landed in America, whether it was North, Central, and South America, got split up by the Portuguese, by the Spanish, by the British, because that's what he does. He don't leave nothing for nobody. He take everything you got. He take it all from sea to shining sea, called manifest destiny. Whatever I see, I own. He said, man, you're the kind of thief. You don't leave nothing. You don't leave nothing for nobody. You take it all, and you come back and get the crumbs.
Every diamond, every drop of oil.
Yeah, you want it all. Every diamond, drop of oil, every fat of the earth, the fruits, the vegetables, the crops. You even want space now. You even putting flags on the moon. You want everywhere you go. You got a rover and you got a rover on Mars. You want it all.
Verse 4 goes into.
We'll read that verse 4 then.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
He said you carry yourself and your symbol is the what?
Eagle.
You know why his symbol is the eagle? Because the eagle is the top predator of the skies. The eagle can see everything below, and he has the highest vantage point. He says you exalt yourself, you promote yourself as the top predator. All eyes in the sky. You have eyes everywhere with your satellites, with your telescopes, with your
fighter jets,
your jets, your infrared guns, your observatories, your high altitude balloons,
drones,
your radar systems, your drones. He said, man, you exalt yourself as the eagle. You love to look down from above, from a perched position. Read on.
Thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
And we know that Esau is the eagle because Rome had the eagle. The Germans had the eagle. The Russians had the eagle. The Spanish had the eagle. They all had the symbol of the eagle. Do we got the sign over here?
Yeah, it's right. It's
Yeah,
in there.
go ahead. It says, those I exalt.
It's right there. Your hands is on it. Right there. Yep. Shoot. No. No, right there.
Can I look for it?
That's right there.
Let him get it, bro. So he says, though thou exalt thyself as the what?
Eagle.
As the eagle. The Most High said, I know what kind of man you are. I know what you're about. You think you're the top predator of all mankind. Your symbol is the eagle. It's on the national seal. It's on the back. It's on the dollar bill. It's on your money.
It's on the mailbox.
It's on the mailbox. It's on the postal stamps. Your ideology of who you are, you carry yourself as the eagle. You're the top predator. He says, though you exalt thyself, your pride is as high as the eagle, because you think you're on top. Read on.
And though thou set thy nest.
A nest is a dwelling place. That's what a space station is. A space station, just like a bird takes a piece of straw or a piece of grass, one by one, and they build a nest. With every single space shuttle launch, whether it's the Challenger, whether it's the Discovery, whether it's Apollo, no matter what shuttle goes up, they got different names for the shuttles. Starlink. They keep adding pieces to the space station, just like a bird adds a piece to a nest. He says, though thou set thy nest among the stars, just like you got a place in space where you can stay up there for a year or two. You can stay in space and go around the earth a couple times for a couple of years. You got enough food, you got enough oxygen, you got enough water, you got enough respirators, you got enough ozone making machines to make ozone, to make oxygen. You know, you could take atmosphere and turn it into water, helium, and gas. You know how to convert all these things. He said, though thou set thy nest among the stars. Read on.
Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
He said, but when you set your nest among the stars, that's when it'll be the beginning of your end. Now, we know in 1969, the Apollo mission, when Neil Armstrong said, Houston to Tranquility Base, the Eagle has what?
Landed.
What year did he say that?
1969.
In 1969, Neil Armstrong said, Houston to Tranquility Base, the Eagle has landed when he landed on the moon. One small step for mankind, or one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Right? These are the words he said. He said, I'm doing this for mankind. No, the Most High said, you're getting beyond yourself. Because now you're trying to make a nest in the stars. You're getting beyond yourself. Your pride is getting the best of you. Your pride is getting too high. And we know since 1969, there's been a decline of the American economy. There's been a decline of exports. We become an importer versus exporter. We also know in 1969 we were victorious in every other war except for what? Vietnam. That was a stalemate. That wasn't a victory. Them troops had to come back home. That wasn't no victory. That was a ceasefire.
Pulled out.
That was the first pullout.
Mm-hmm.
Afghanistan was another one. You know what I'm saying? Now all these different ones have been pulling out because the Most High said you've gotten beyond yourself. Now you've reached a height, and now it's time to reach a decline. So now we know who he's talking about in Obadiah. I just want to get that. You can put that up. So we know who he's talking about in the book of Obadiah. This is a prophecy concerning the so-called white man. Now, verse 5 says what?
Verse 5, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off?
Go ahead.
Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
He said, damn, even a robber will just take what he can carry. He'll just put everything he can carry and get out your house. He'll put everything in a blanket or a bed sheet or a pillowcase and just take what he can carry.
He's getting enough to sustain him.
Right. He said a thief even got limits. He said, but damn, man, you don't got no limits. You want it all.
This isn't black angry man rhetoric. We're dealing with biblical history.
Biblical history, and it's also been history, regular history. You know what? That's all of the. First, it was the 13 colonies. Then they just moved their way west and just annihilate. Then created a law, the Indian Removal Act. Any Indian was shot on sight. You could look at that. You can look at You can look Trail of Tears. That was the Trail of Tears. But you can look at the scalp value for Navajo and Cherokee Indians. They had a scalp value. Like a Cherokee man's scalp was worth like 5 pennies or something. A woman's scalp was worth like 3, and a child's scalp was worth 2. That means they were killed. They were to be killed on sight. This was both in New Mexico and Arizona. That means they were, as soon as you see them, shoot them on sight. That's why they hid in the mountains.
You're getting paid for it.
You got paid for it. There was a bounty on the Cherokee's head, on the Native American's head. Kill them on sight. They said, damn, you already done took their land. You done took all their resources. You want everything. Now you got we on Standing Rock. You know what Standing Rock is about? We're going to dig under their ancient burial sites and their main water source. We're going to dig for oil under their main damn water source. Any leaks will contaminate that water source, and it's on ancient Indian burial ground. We don't got no regard for your land. We have no regard for your water sources. We have no regard for your history here as America. Man, this belongs to us. This is ours. He said, damn, at least a thief will leave you something. A thief will leave something. He'll leave something in the cabinets. He ain't gonna steal everything. He said, but the Most High said this. Only bring this up to go back to Jeremiah chapter 6. Go back to let that go. Go back to Jeremiah chapter 6 and read verse 9.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 9. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall truly glean the remnant of Israel as a vine.
Go ahead.
Turn back thine hand as a grape gatherer.
And we know who is the grape gatherer that take all the grapes. Now, I'm sorry, finish that in Obadiah. You didn't finish it in Obadiah. Finish that part. I'm sorry. Well, I cut you off too soon.
Yeah, come.
Read that verse 5 one more time. Finish that verse 5.
Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 5 reads from the top. If these came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off?
Go ahead.
Would they not have stolen till they have enough?
Go ahead.
If the grape gatherers...
So we know who the grape gatherers are. Who's those grape gatherers?
Edom.
Esau, Edom. So-called white man, he called them the grape gatherers. That does what? Read on.
If the grape gatherers came to thee, will they not leave some grapes?
He said they'll leave some grapes. Go ahead.
No, where's got left? Government assistance.
Government assistance. Yeah.
You get to have some WIC.
Government
and some
cheese.
food stamps. That's the grapes left for you.
Government housing.
Some bad housing.
Bad house. Project living. Good times. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got left. Read on.
Verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out?
He said, how do you know who he is? Obviously, look at his track record. He'll tell you who he is. Now let that go. Finish that at verse 9 in Jeremiah chapter 6.
Turn back thine hand as a grape gatherer into the basket. Verse 10. To whom shall I speak?
You know what the Most High is saying? If you don't hear me, I'm going to let Esau loose on you. That's what the Most High is saying. I'm going to let Esau loose on you, and he's going to take everything you got. And he don't leave nothing. He don't leave nothing.
Says you couldn't sacrifice the little bit you had.
He said, I'm gonna let this guy that take it all. But go ahead.
No, you couldn't sacrifice. All the Most High be asking is for a tithe. We're not asking. This ain't tithe class, but a tithe is represented. A tithe represents not money, but 10% of everything you have. So your time, your energy, your spirit, your back, your mind. Just give the Most High a little bit for the benefit of your nation, because the sanctuary was where your nation gathered. But we were so into ourselves and not about taking care of our nation, not about taking care of our brothers. We said, listen, man, I'm not giving nothing. Everything's for me. So Most High said, okay, cool. This is for you. I got a guy. His specialty. That's taking everything from me. That's his specialty.
Oh man.
He's the master of writing paperwork up, and you have to sign it because you need a loan.
Yep.
You look up, you're underwater.
Yep.
I'm underwater. I can't pay his loan back.
You took 30 years to pay your house off, but your taxes went up now. Now you got taxes that equal a mortgage payment.
Exactly.
But you already paid a 30-year mortgage.
You did that already.
You did it already. But now your taxes are so high because there's urban development. Because he passed a city ordinance that they're going to develop all the urban areas. That means that your house has tripled in value. You know what that's called? Gentrification. Now you're going to box you out your property.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got 2 mortgages.
Now you got 2. You know what I'm saying?
And you're older.
How
It's more challenging.
do you know that? Read verse 12 real quick.
Come on, Jeremiah 6 and 12. And their houses shall be turned unto others.
And that's what gentrification is. Your house gonna be turned out and be given to somebody else.
Wow.
Now you got a Starbucks, a Whole Foods, and you got a Trader Joe's, all in what used to be the skating ring.
Or a doggy wash area.
Yeah, dog wash area, dog park. What used to be the skating
Dog wash,
ring.
wow.
What used to be the corner store meat market. All that is gone now.
We used to gather together, have a good time together.
Yeah.
We have memories
They used
over
to be
there.
the park that
Yeah.
you grew up in, next to, or the trees that you used to go climb. All that is gone and developed now. And he said, your houses shall be turned to who?
To others.
And who does the Most High turn your house to?
Gentiles.
Must be that guy.
That guy. Man.
That's
That ain't your house no more.
God,
That used to be your grandma's house. That used to be. See, the Most High know how to fix us as a people. He knows how to fix us when we stop listening to Him. Yeah, the Most High hit your house. He hit you at home. That be His target, man. I'm gonna turn your house out. I'm gonna split your companion up from you. I'm gonna strip you of your dwelling place and of your location. Yo, you don't own nothing no more. You don't own that ain't your street no more. That street got different faces and different names. That ain't even Martin Luther King Street no more.
Be Michael Street.
Yeah.
This is Michael Street.
That'd be Amazon Freeway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what that new highway called. They ain't even calling no MLK Freeway no more. They got a new name for it. Cesar Chavez what? They don't got Cesar Chavez Boulevard no more.
Right, it's true.
They don't got that no more. They already changed that name already. You know? So that's how they do it. But the Most High, who's doing it though? The Most High doing it. He uses Esau as a tool, as an instrument. But the Most High is behind it. Because he said we refuse instruction. Now jump back up to verse 10.
Verse 10. To whom shall I speak and give warning?
It says, but that's what the Most High is asking. Who is going to listen to me, to these warnings that I'm trying to tell you that I will do to you if you don't want to receive instruction? Who's the person listening to what I will do to you? That's why he's asking this. Read on.
That they may hear.
It says that they may what?
Hear.
There's an opportunity that our people will hear. There's only a chance, man. Our people are notorious for not fully committing themselves to the Most High. We listen to the Most High if, because, or by disaster, or by bad circumstances. Or if the Most High bless me, then I'll give Him some honor and praise. There's always some condition that we have to be under to really give the Most High our full attention. And that's why the Most High said, who's the man that really, read that again in verse 10.
To whom shall I speak and give warning that they may hear?
That they may what?
Hear.
Go ahead.
Behold, their ear is uncircumcised.
He says, what's wrong with the children of Israel? the Most High's chosen people, the so-called Negroes, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Haitians, Jamaicans, so-called Mexicans, Argentinians, Brazilians, all those scattered throughout North, Central, and South America of Negro and Indian descent. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with our people?
Obviously, they can't hear.
He said they can't hear, man. That's what's wrong with us. He said, what's wrong with us? Verse 10.
Behold, their ear is uncircumcised.
The Most High said our ear is what?
Uncircumcised.
It says, when the Most High says that our ear is uncircumcised, that means that the word, what he's saying is, he's saying that we refrain from using it. That means we hold back from using our ears. Meaning the Most High said you can hear, you just choose not to hear. What do you call that?
Rebellion.
You call it it's stubbornness, it's rebellion.
Hard.
It's rebellion. Our people got ears. Our people could hear.
And not that we can't hear, we don't listen to do right, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
It's pride. It's pride. It's stubbornness. It's rebellion.
Right.
It's a choice.
Maybe it's pride.
I choose not to hear. And when you look at the origin of that, I can't hear. This is what the Greeks, the Most High said the Jews require a sign. We listen when it's mandatory. He said the Greeks seek after what? Wisdom. The Greeks call that, since they seek after wisdom, they call that being listless. Get the definition of listless.
Listless?
Yeah, listless. The definition of listless. This is what the Greeks call it.
Listless. Not
Let everybody,
H28.
let them get it. Let them get it. I want you to break it down.
Listless, not listening, not attending.
He said, what's wrong with the children of Israel?
Not listening, not attending.
When the Most High says, the children of Israel, my people ears are uncircumcised, the Greeks call it listless. Same thing.
It's listless.
Listless.
Yeah, the term listless, it
How you
says
spell
not attending. I mean, not present. I'm speaking to you, you're not even there. Your mind's not even there. You're like a brick wall. Also, listless, it says not attending. And this is a side note. Don't know the scripture. 1 Timothy 4:13 says, give attendance to reading. So we're listening, we don't hear, and we don't read. Who's that sound like? It's like our people, bro.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear, and they really don't want to read. We can't even get to reading the Most High's word. We can't even hear basic instructions.
Right.
So I'm listless. I'm not listening, or I'm not present when it comes time for instruction. Why? Because my mind's somewhere else.
My mind is somewhere else. Where's my mind? According to the Greeks, my mind is on my passion. See, even the Greeks knew how to suppress and deny their passions for the sake of a higher spiritual virtue.
For the greater good for their nation.
For the greater good of their people, to elevate their society.
That's why they can fight with each other, but they always get together, Democrats and Republicans, and they win together. They might battle here and there over this part, this law, that law, but they're always together winning.
Right.
Yep. Because they know how to put things aside for the greater good. Our people don't know how to put their passion aside for the greater good of their relationship with the Most High. I don't know how to put my passion aside. I got addictive natures. I got addictive habits. I got qualities about me, that things that I want, that pleasure that I'm pursuing, that I don't want to put my pleasure down so that me and the Most High can have a better relationship. That's why you can't tell our people to stop smoking cigarettes or weed. They will find every reason in the world to keep smoking weed. They'll say it's from the earth. They'll say it's natural. They say the Most High made it. They'll create every damn. What Most High made heroin too.
Opium plant.
Opium plant.
You could be high. You could be just late all day.
Yeah.
Most High made it. You
Yeah.
shouldn't take it like that. Sun is bright. It's hot outside. It's 104 degrees. Everybody's
Leaning with their shirt off, half naked.
crazy.
Everybody will justify a
God.
reason to do them, to not get rid of their passion. That's what angers the Most High.
God.
Even the Greeks know how to elevate themselves in amongst their society and their culture. Here it is, our people who the Bible was written for, and we don't want to hear instruction. He said our ears are uncircumcised. Like Dawiyah brought out, go to Proverbs chapter 4, verse 1 real quick. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 1 and 2.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear ye children, the instruction of a father.
Go ahead. He said, I'm talking to you like a what?
A father.
Like a father teaches a son. He said that's how the Most High deals with his children. Like a father to a son. Read on.
And attend to know
There it is. That's what Dawiyah brought out. Attend to reading, right? Attend unto reading. Attend means to be present at when information is given. That means my mind is there. Like when you're in class in school, back in school, you didn't sit in the back of the class. You sat in front of the class because you wanted to receive the instruction from the teacher. But you know where our people sit at? This ain't no knocking nobody in the back of the class. Man. I know we got a small little building.
It's small,
so,
yeah.
You know, you got everybody in the back of the class right now. But I'm just saying, back in the day, we like to do what? We like to sit in the back, as far as away from the teacher as possible, so that we can still mess around, we can still flirt, pass letters, shoot spitballs, and play games, and work and learn at our own pace. You know, but the Most High said, listen, I've been trying to talk to you like a father or son. He said, I need your attendance. I need your attention. He said, and attend, which means to be present. When I'm giving you instruction, I need your mind to be here. I need your ears to be here when I'm giving you instruction. Read on.
And attend to know understanding.
It says, and what?
To know understanding.
And I'm trying to get you to understand what I'm telling you. Not only am I giving you information, I'm giving you laws and I'm giving you rules, but what's the understanding behind the laws? What's the understanding behind the rules? Do you understand the purpose of the law? The law is not just to prevent you from having fun. The law is to excel you as a people. I didn't give this advantage to nobody else. I didn't give this advantage that you possess to other people, although they benefit from it by default because it's good doctrine. Read on.
For I give you good doctrine.
Because it's good teaching. Read on.
Forsake ye not my law.
And that's why it says, don't forsake my law. We have the greatest advantage when you go to Romans 3 and 1. It says what? Romans chapter 3 verse 1. Somebody read that real quick.
Romans chapter 3 and verse 1. What advantage then hath the Jew?
What good is it you knowing that you're a Jew? What's the advantage? Read on.
Or what profit is there of circumcision?
Go ahead.
Much every way.
He says in every way. Why is it to your advantage that you know you're a Jew, which you are? If you came here by way of conquering masters, by way of slave ship and punishments, divine punishments from the Most High, which you read in Deuteronomy 28, all the curses that befell our people. Read on.
Chiefly because that unto them were committed to the oracles of the Most High.
The word oracles also means divine communication. He says when the Most High had this Bible written, this was the Most High specifically communicating to you directly from heaven to earth. You were receiving divine communication from heaven down to earth every time you open up as you being a Jew, every time you open the Bible, you're getting instruction from heaven. But nobody sees it that way. We don't look at it like that. And that's why it says, forsake ye not my law. Don't you know this is divine communication? Don't you know that this is a telephone to the Most High? This is the Most High giving you direct instructions all the way from heaven to earth. But our people forsake the laws of the Most High. We forsake His instruction, and our ears are uncircumcised. That means we don't pay attention when the Most High is trying to give us anything. Let that go in Romans. Let that go also in Proverbs. Go back to Jeremiah. Yes, sir.
Come. Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 10 from the top. To whom shall I speak and give warning, that they may hear? Behold, their ears are circumcised, and they cannot hearken.
They said they cannot what?
Hearken.
He says because our ears are uncircumcised, we can't listen. Hearken means to listen and follow. Read on.
Behold, the word of
the... We had the definition of listless, right?
Yeah.
Because the Greeks called it listless.
Come.
Who got that definition?
I got it right here.
Go ahead and read that
It says
definition.
not listening.
Not what?
Not listening.
Go ahead.
Not attending. Indifferent to what is passing.
That means I'm indifferent to what is what?
Passing.
That means you're witnessing the world about to blow up. We're in World War III, if anybody cares to know.
You understand that?
If anybody understands that. But when I don't listen, when I'm listless, I'm indifferent to what is what?
What is passing.
That means I really don't care, and I'm disconnected with the hell what's going on around me. I have no idea what's going on around me because I'm so wrapped into my own mind. I'm so wrapped into my own passion. I'm so wrapped up in my own lust, and I'm only pursuing what my imagination comes up with, my dreams, so to speak. I'm so wrapped and engulfed in my own dreams.
I'm an entrepreneur.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not paying attention. Or I'm trying to get a scholarship. Or I'm trying to make the team. I'm so wrapped up into me.
Come.
I'm not even watching the fact that the Most High, like we started the class, He says, arise and wake out of sleep, for our salvation is nearer than what we have believed. Don't they know that our salvation is right around the corner? Christ is right around the corner from coming back. Didn't He say He comes as a thief in the night? When you're not looking, when you're not prepared. But we're so wrapped up watching TV and trying to catch up with different episodes and trying to TV and binge watch certain
And
episodes
try
of
to
TV.
appeal to people for approval and validation.
Right. Trying to be accepted by people. This is not the time to be accepted by people. This is the time to open your ears, that uncircumcised ear, and use it. And take heed. Heed means to listen and follow. He said this is the time that we're in. It's not the time to be listless. By definition, listless meaning what?
Indifferent to what is passing, heedless,
Heedless.
inattentive.
Inattentive, right?
Yeah, inattentive, not attentive.
Not attentive. Totally opposite of what the Most High said we should do. Anybody got more definitions on
It
that
says
word?
thoughtless,
Thoughtless. I don't even.
careless.
I'm not even considering what the hell's going on around me. The world is on the edge of blowing up completely. Literally. Christ is on the way, on the verge of coming back. And my head is somewhere else. Yes, sir.
You said another definition.
God.
It says marked by low spirits.
It says
showing no enthusiasm.
Marked by what?
Low spirits.
That marked by I'm depressed. If I'm depressed, I'm down and out. Am I not paying attention to what's going on around me?
Problem.
I'm so engulfed in my depression. I'm so overcome by I'm in my head so much. I'm so analytical about my situation. I'm not even attentive to what's going on around me. My spirit is down and it's low. There's no enthusiasm about me. There's no life about me. There's no excitement about me. What else you got in that?
I got one right here.
Go ahead.
It says listless, languid, and unresponsive.
Damn.
Slothful.
Slothful, bro.
I'm mentally slothful. I don't want to think about anything real because I don't want to make any real changes.
I don't want to think. That's why I don't hear, because I don't want to think. I don't want to think. That means I want to do me.
Yeah.
I just want to think about what I want to think about. It's damn. Read the definition one more time.
Listless, languid, and unresponsive.
I'm languid and I'm unresponsive. I'm of low spirit. What you got, Karai? What'd you say?
It says marked by low spirits or showing no enthusiasm.
Oh, showing no what?
Enthusiasm.
Go to St. John. I ain't got no enthusiasm. I got low spirit. That means I walk around all day with a low battery. My battery's low. All day I got no spirit. I got low batteries all day. I got no animation about me.
Wow.
I got no enthusiasm about me.
Languid.
What you got?
Languid goes hard too. It says drooping.
Drooping.
Wow.
Hence feeble, weak.
I'm looking weak and I'm feeble. Go ahead.
It says indisposed to exertion.
Oh my
slow.
God. Slow, bro.
Heartless. Without animation.
Without what?
Without animation.
So I'm walking
Dull.
around languid,
Wow.
without animation, slow, droopy, no enthusiasm. I'm spiritless. I have a low spirit. That means I got like one bar in my spirit, man.
One bar left.
Man, you need to go plug in, bro. You need to go plug up. You only got one bar, and it's on red. It's like the system's about to shut down,
And you don't care.
and you don't care about it. Why didn't you answer the phone, brother? Oh, my phone died. I didn't have my phone. My phone died. Did you know your phone? You know your phone need a. That's why it come with a plug. You know you gotta plug it up. Well, guess what? Your spirit come with a plug too. Your spirit got to plug up too. And this is why people walk around droopy, depressed, low-spirited, languid, no animation, no excitement, because they ain't plugged their spirit up. How do you do that? When you go to St. John 6:63, he'll tell you how to plug your spirit up. He'll tell you how to wake up out of this damn slow, slothful spirit.
This is also says flagging, where flagging means growing weak. So what it's showing is my condition's getting worse.
Yep. Damn.
My outlook is getting worse.
Mm.
My self-image is not just in a bad condition. My condition is getting worse, and I have no inspiration to change
He
it.
said it's marked by low spirits, right? So
Come.
you can see who hasn't been listening to the Most High. You can see who hasn't been receiving instruction from the Most High. You can see who has an uncircumcised ear because their spirit is low. That's how you know who has not been receiving instruction.
Wow.
That's how you know. That's how you know who ain't been studying. Because they got a low battery. They walk around with no excitement. They walk around dull, droopy,
Uninspired.
unresponsive. Read that.
St. John chapter 6, verse 63 reads, "It is the spirit that quickeneth."
The word quickeneth means to be brought to life. Don't you know the Most High already knew the antidote to your droopiness? He already had the answer to your depression. He already had the answer to your low-spirited, lack of enthusiasm, no drive,
No passion.
no resilience,
Come.
no fight. The Most High already had the answer to that. He said it's the spirit that what?
Quickeneth.
Quickeneth means to be brought to life, to bring to life. What else?
The flesh profiteth nothing.
You can exercise all you want, doesn't mean your spirit's gonna wake up. You could be depressed. You could be a depressed bodybuilder.
That happened though.
Yeah,
That happens all
it
the
happens
time.
all the time.
There's one dude.
Because you got hormone problems.
Come.
Because you're playing with your hormones, so you can force your muscles to grow. Now you're listless now.
Come.
You got no enthusiasm. Then you gotta take another shot of steroid to get pumped up. When you ain't on them steroids, you deflate. You're depressed. You're crying.
I need Kim. Yeah, exactly.
Read on.
The flesh profiteth nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do in the flesh to elevate your spirit. See, even the Greeks knew that by denying their flesh, they could elevate something spiritual about them. See, even they knew that. And the Bible wasn't even written for them. But they benefit from it. The Bible was written for us. That's why I said, what advantage have the Jew?
Much
Chiefly in every way. He says, because the oracles of the Most High was committed unto them. The Bible was meant for us, but we're low-spirited with no animation. We don't have no drive. Even the Greeks know that if I suppress my passions, my impulses, my lust, I can create a higher self-awareness and become a complete whole man by suppressing my appetite. Even they knew that through abstinence. They understood that. Read.
Come. The words that I speak unto you.
This is Christ speaking because it's written in red, right?
Come.
Christ said, the words that I speak unto you, go ahead.
They are spirit.
That's how you plug in. Go ahead.
They are spirit and they are life.
And that's how you charge up. That's how you know who hasn't been studying. That's how you know who hasn't been listening. That's how you know who doesn't read. Because there's no animation. They're dull. They're marked by low spirits. They're languish. That definition go hard, bro.
Yeah.
That definition one more time. Languish. Languid. Languid.
I'm getting it right now.
Language. Lacking spirit or liveliness?
They lack spirit or what?
Liveliness.
Then they're not alive. Yeah, they buffering, man. Charging. Do not start. You know what I'm saying? Charging in progress. Our people are so horrible, bro. They can understand to charge a phone, but they don't understand to charge their spirit.
Wow, this is crazy.
But I smoke weed to charge my spirit. No, it doesn't work. You know why? Weed don't charge you up.
Opium don't charge you up either.
Say it again.
The whip of coca plant don't do it.
No, that's
Opium plant don't do it.
opium, coca leaf, the federal, All these different things there's nothing in the flesh you can do to elevate your spirit. Because as soon as you come off that high, you come down to a low.
Probably lower.
And you are lower because you depleted those adrenal glands necessary to excrete the dopamine to get the high.
That's true.
So now you're more depressed than you were before the damn dope. But that's not our people though. Our people they'll do anything and everything to feel better, but except for plug into what the Most High gave them to charge their spirit up. That's how you know who hasn't been studying, who ain't been reading.
Yeah.
Their spirit is linked. It's marked. There's a mark on them. It's marked by low spirit. You can see somebody who is not animated, and you know they don't read. They don't study. There's really no need to even ask what's wrong with you, bro.
For what?
We already know what's wrong with you. Why is your spirit not awake and alive?
Dead
What?
man,
Yeah.
dead man walking. You can see it.
Right. Like you about to go to the execution chair. Like you about to get killed or something and executed.
But the Most High is trying to charge you up.
He'll charge you with that electricity.
Israel 1 to 10.
Yeah, we get in that damn chair.
Exactly.
You get charged up.
Come.
You want Ecclesiastes 19:29 on your point about the face?
No.
I'll put one more point of
No,
definition.
I want him to get
Language. It says, faint, listless, and sluggish from weakness, fatigue, or want of energy.
Lack of energy, bro.
I do nothing with spirit, bro.
I do nothing with spirit because I have not plugged in. Christ said, the words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are what?
Your life.
They're life. This is what you need to charge your spirit up. That's why even your grandma knows something wrong with you. Boy, what's wrong with you? She just know you ain't eating. She just taking guesses. You ain't been eating. You broke up with your girlfriend. What's wrong with you? No, grandma, I ain't been studying the Bible. I haven't been reading.
It says listless, unresponsive. Even when people try to talk to you, try to counsel you,
Yep.
try to inspire you, try to give you some correction.
Try to charge you up.
Brothers be trying to feed. Brothers be begging, man, give this brother some water. Give him some spiritual information. Brothers unresponsive. That's how much of a deficit I have of the spirit. What the brothers give me can't even feed my spirit because I've been rejecting the Most High in the first place.
You said something about slothful in there too, right?
It says unresponsive, slothful.
Slothful. Go to Proverbs 20 and 4 real quick. Go to Proverbs chapter 20 verse 4.
So we're starting on the root of slothfulness, huh?
Right, now it is the root of slothful.
We found the root.
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 4.
What page you on?
Page 320 in the blue book.
Go ahead.
The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold.
It says how do you know this person is listless? This person is languid? Is that they make what?
They won't
The
plow.
sluggard will not plow.
They won't go to work, man. They ain't got no spirit, bro. They won't go to work. They won't get up to go to work.
They can't get up to
They
go to
can't
work.
get up to go to work, bro. They can't get up to go to work for what reason?
By reason of the cold.
By reason of the what?
Of the cold.
What's that mean?
Excuse.
As excuse.
External
So
environment.
a person that don't study, they listen to their own excuses.
Wow.
I was tired, so I couldn't get up. Damn, brother. So you feed yourself because you're listless, according to the Greeks.
Right.
According to the Most High, you got uncircumcised ears. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Greeks call it listless or languid.
Right.
Because so now you listen to your excuses and you feed yourself with your excuses.
I promise you, I was about to read the Bible today, and I was like, oh man, it's too hot. That's the opposite of that, but it's the same thing. I was in my truck, man. I was like, oh man, it's too hot. I get it later.
He said what?
The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest.
But the Most High said, okay, I got something for you. Since you're listless, you have uncircumcised ears. You know what? When everybody else is reaping the benefits of their labor, he said, I'm gonna have you doing what?
Begging.
Therefore shall he beg in the harvest.
Now, man, you think I can spend the night at your house? You think you could buy me some groceries? You think you should put some food on my table? You think you can square me away for a little while? You think you can give me a loan? You think you can hook me up? Think I can borrow something from you? You know why? You had the same opportunity, but you listen to you. You listen to your own thoughts. Because he said that's what a sluggard will do. Matter of fact, read that and stay in Proverbs. Go to 26 and 16.
Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 16. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit.
It says the sluggard is what?
Is wiser in his own
Can I say this right here?
Go ahead, bro, please.
A sluggard is a person that you cannot convince. One thing a sluggard does do is they collect information, they collect cases and data points to combat strategically everything you say to get them to move. They won't move and get things done to feed themselves, but they'll collect information to combat other people from critiquing them. They're masters at that. That's why it's almost impossible to argue with a lazy person. That's they say, just drop out, or just let it go out, or next topic out, or we're moving on.
Or I'll see you in harvest.
I'll see you in harvest out, or you think gonna have it out. Don't. I say, remember that energy when the blessings here and things are growing and you're not growing. Remember what you said out. Your words are collected. Remember that. You know why? Because you can't debate a person that's a slothful, because they're a master in breaking points and blocking. They're like master defense, like Floyd Mayweather. When it comes to trying to talk to them, you're trying to inspire them. They block the Most High. Most High got events for them. Most High got situations for them. Most High got blessings for them. They don't want to do it.
Nope.
Because it takes work. It takes reading. It takes attendance. It takes energy.
Yep.
But they'll collect everything to block you from making them come out their condition.
Yep. Or go at their own thoughts. Go at their own excuse. They won't even go at their own excuse.
Mm-hmm.
They got their own ideas about what they can and cannot do and what they're capable of, and they got their own limits. I got my own limits. That's too much for me. He said a what? Verse 26 and 16 says what?
26 and 16. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit.
Go ahead.
Than 7 men.
Then
7 men.
Go ahead.
That can render a reason.
Then that's exactly what Dawiyah said.
Can't beat him.
You can have 7 people telling one thing, and it won't add up to a sluggard. Nah, I don't see it. All those 7 people, 7 is the number of completion. That means the Most High can have the complete amount of wisdom and understanding around you, but you won't receive it because you got your own ideal. Because you can't be told anything. Because you're dull of hearing. Because you're listless. You can't hear. You got your own excuses. And we know in Ecclesiasticus and Apocrypha, go there real quick, just don't solidify this point. 32 and 17 says what? Ecclesiasticus chapter 32 verse 17.
Ecclesiasticus chapter
In
32, verse 17,
Read
page
that.
90. A sinful man.
A what?
A sinful man.
So can we say that a listless man, a man that's uncircumcised in his ears, in his hearing, dull, spiritless, inanimated, slothful, fatigued,
fatigued,
tired, weak, droopy,
unresponsive,
unattentive? He said this man is what?
A sinful man.
This man is sinful. How do you know he's sinful? Go ahead.
A sinful man will not be reproved.
You cannot tell him. You can't tell him. You can't get him straight. You can't correct him. You can't get him to see that his thought process is killing him. That his pace that he's operating in is killing him. That he needs to pick up his pace. You can't tell a slothful man to pick up his pace. He thinks his pace is correct.
He's in the spirit.
He's in the spirit. He's in a spirit, not in the spirit.
Calm.
He's in a spirit of rebellion.
Yeah.
He said a sinful man what?
Will not be reproved.
Read on.
But
why can't you correct him? Read on.
But findeth an excuse.
He always has a what?
An excuse.
This is how you know who ain't been reading the Bible, man. They're full of excuses, but yet they're in a low state. But they're full of excuses. And this is why they don't make any changes. Because I'm in a low state mentally, spiritually, physically, and I won't make any changes about myself because I make excuses and I listen to those excuses. That's why it says a sinful man would not be reproved, but making a what?
But findeth an excuse.
I find an excuse that what?
According to his will.
That suits his will. I gotta find an excuse that better, goes with how I see things based upon my schedule and my level of effort that I want to give.
Because my will is everything has to surround my desire. People that are slothful and excuse makers, they yield their complete environment to them because they're lazy. I don't want to adapt to nothing. I don't want to adapt to the schedule. I don't want to adapt to the timing. I don't want to adapt to my house. I don't want to adapt to council. I don't want to adapt to the brothers under me. I don't want to adapt to the brothers over me. I'm unadaptable. So my stubbornness forces you to have to adapt to me.
Yep.
You have to bend for me. You have to yield to me.
It's a battle of will.
You have to be on my schedule. I'm getting here at 8:30. I'm gonna be here when I get here.
Yep.
I'm gonna study when I'm good and damn ready to study.
You can yell. You can curse. You can holler.
House getting clean when I feel like cleaning the house.
You can reprimand.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm a delay.
Yep.
I'm going to delay. I'm going to delay all councils. All councils delayed. All changes delayed. Everything is delayed. It's on my timetable. That's why it's around that person's will. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
That's what we say. The antics and semantics. Biblically, folly and madness.
Folly and madness in the scriptures. Folly means mental weakness, and madness means lack of logic, lack of reason, lack of sanity, biblical sanity. Because I'm not making any sense. These conversations, these councils always equal the same ending. You're not making sense. You're unhappy, but you won't do the changes it takes to be happy. You're not making sense. Mm-hmm. Your house is falling apart, but you won't do the spiritual work it takes to fix the house. Mm-hmm. You're not making sense.
Or you won't study to fix your own depression.
You're depressed as hell, and you look at everything as negative, but you won't read the Bible to get the answers to get past and solve the negative. You're not making sense. You want people to listen to you and your excuses, but you won't listen to nobody else.
But you won't listen to reason. You won't listen to reason or counsel.
You're not making any sense.
And I wonder why during harvest I gotta beg.
Exactly.
Now I wonder why I'm in the position I'm in.
God.
Yeah. And now I wonder why. This is why the Most High has to grant poverty to those that are dull of hearing.
That's the worst thing ever, right?
That's why the Most High got to let loose Satan of stripping you of what you possess, because you didn't want to listen.
Without inhabitant. Without companion.
Without companion. Without inhabitant. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Most High got to hit your house.
I feel alone.
Yeah.
You always feel alone? That's the Most High stripping you.
This is the issue that the Most High has with our people. He said, but the Greeks, they even understand that, hey, the way that you come out of this is through discipline, self-denial. You put your passions on hold. Use abstinence to elevate your consciousness. They even understand this.
That's what fasting is about?
Yeah, that's what abstinence is about. Self-restraint. Mm. That's when you read about these Stoics, these Epicureans, these so-called philosophers of Greece. They had their own, the Pythagoras. You had Pythagoras, of course. He had his own inner circle and he had his outer circle. And basically they had lifestyles that were equivalent to so-called monks. You know what I'm saying? Where they abstained from, relationships, money, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want to be polluted with money. They lived on the outside of the cities. They didn't care about possession of things. Their only thought was about meditation and elevating their thought process. They didn't want to have any earthly attachments. They even understood this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
they just weren't given the Most High knowledge. They got lost in mathematics.
Yeah.
They got lost in Babylonian worship.
And also Kemetic sciences through Egypt, because the Greeks landed, founded and pursued all the knowledge of Egypt. That Hammurabi's code and the what do you call it? The stone, Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
They were able to translate the hieroglyphics, and that's how they extracted the knowledge from Egypt. And they put on that thought process as wisdom. They got put on by the Egyptians. But when you look at us as a people who've been given the Bible, we won't come to life because we don't see the virtue in what the Most High has given us when He gives us His law, statutes, and commandments. We don't see that. That's why it says, let that go real quick and go to Acts chapter 5 verse 19. Somebody get Acts chapter 5 verse 19. Let's tell them where it is in the
blue book.
In the blue book.
Acts 5 and 19. That's page 524 in the blue book. Page 524 in the blue book.
Acts chapter 5 and verse 19. But the angel of the Lord by night opened the prison doors.
Now we know that this is when Paul was in prison, and he was about to be put to death after the feast day. They were going to put him to death after the feast. Go ahead.
And brought them forth, and said, Go, stand and speak in the temple.
Now this is what the angel told to Paul after he broke open the jail and set him free. What was the instruction from the angel to Paul after he broke him out of jail? Read.
Go, stand and speak.
I'm sorry, this was Peter.
Go, stand and speak in the temple to the people all the words of this life.
He says, I want you to go, now that I got you out of jail, now that I got you out of prison, I want you to go, stand and speak in the temple to the people. Go ahead.
All the words of this life.
All the words of this what?
Of this life.
Of this life. Go ahead.
And when they heard that, they entered into the temple early in the morning and taught. But the high priest came, and they that were with him, and called the council together.
So when the Bible calls this teaching the words of life, what are you doing? Who are you giving it to? Who did the angel tell him to go feed it to?
He said, and called the council together, and all the senate of the children of Israel, and sent to the prison to them to have them brought.
Right. So he's showing you that these words of life, that word of life, when you even look at this word in the Greek, it means Zoe. Somebody get the definition of the word Zoe in the Greek, because that's what this word translates to. When he's talking to him, he says, go teach these people these words of life. And that word of life is Zoe, Z-O-E. Get the definition of that word in the Greek, because that's what this translates into when you read this in Greek. The Bible was translated, the New Testament was translated out of Greek into English.
Zoe, life referring to principle of life in the spirit and soul.
Principles of life in the what?
In the spirit and soul.
So when he told him, listen, man, these words, they elevate your spirit, and they elevate your what?
Soul.
They elevate your soul. This is the instruction that the angel told Peter after he got him out of prison. Go give these words to these people. What you got, Nagai?
Of the absolute fullness of life, both essential and ethical.
He says of the absolute fullness of life, both essential and what?
And ethical.
So it's essential. It's essential, meaning it's necessary for living, for spiritual living. You can't be alive spiritually without the words of the Most High. And he says it's ethical, meaning it is the definition of morality. It is the correct thought process in decision making. That means it's appropriate discernment. That means when you possess appropriate ethics, that means you have the most absolute discernment, meaning you can differentiate good and bad thoughts. You can differentiate good and bad behaviors. You can differentiate good and bad actions. You have that discernment. That's what this word gives you. Prove that even more. Go to Hebrews chapter 5 and read verse 11.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 11.
Hold on. Read that.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 11. Of whom we have many things to say.
They said, yeah, the Bible could teach you a whole lot of things, but what?
And hard to be uttered.
Go ahead.
Seeing ye are dull of hearing.
But a lot of people can't understand the Bible because they're what?
Dull of hearing.
Because they're dull. They can't differentiate and decipher the morals or the essential nature and value of the words of the Most High. Because they're dull of what?
Hearing.
So I can't see that these words of this life is going to elevate me morally, spiritually. It's going to elevate my consciousness. It says I can't see the good in the word of the Most High because I'm dull of what?
Hearing.
I'm dull of hearing. So I never see the benefits of how good the Bible can be to me because I can't hear. Because I got uncircumcised ears, or I'm listeners. Read on.
Verse 12. For when For the time ye ought to be teachers.
And there is a time when you should have been reading the Bible long enough where you should be able to pass this down to somebody else.
I ought to be a teacher.
Yeah.
I've been in the truth for this many years. I've been around camps or in a camp for this much time. I should have been having this degree and ability of training. I've been wearing fringes forever.
Yep.
I've been wearing fringes. I've been speaking Hebrew.
Yep.
I've been coming to class in and out. I've been getting the word of the Most High. I know spiritual people. I've had multiple opportunities to invest myself in Christ at a higher level and just rejected the notion, rejected the opportunity. Read that point again.
Verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers.
The time means this season. There's a lot of sick people. A lot of people that need the Most High's information that only you are meant to touch. But I won't do the work.
Yep.
I won't listen and take heed and make the changes so I have something to give other people. So that a prior slothful nature is an extremely selfish person behind.
Because I won't acquire what can benefit not only myself, but the people around me.
God, I've been about me for many years. I need just enough to keep, I'll take enough of this Most High Spirit to keep my one bar going, but I don't charge up to feed other people's spirits. Because really it's about me.
Yep. And I barely got enough to keep me going. Read on.
For when for the time ye ought to be teachers.
Go ahead.
Ye have need that one teach you again.
Why is that? Read on.
Which be the first principles.
Because I didn't get the essentials. Because I didn't get the words of life. That Zoe in Greek, which is the essential principles of ethical thought. It's the highest form of learning.
The real higher learning.
That I can feed my spirit and feed my decision making. So I never acquired it. So how can I give something I never owned? How can I give and share something I never possessed? Read on.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High.
The words of the Most High is the essentials. It's the essentials for thinking. It's the essentials for spiritual elevation. I can smoke all the weed I want and I will not be spiritually elevated. I can drink all the wine, beer, Louis XIII. I can buy the best of the best. Don Perignon. I can get the best of the best and it still won't elevate my spirit. I can accumulate resources and money and wealth and my bank account could be full, but I still don't know how to elevate my spirit. That's why there's celebrity rehabs as long as regular rehabs.
Yeah, there's ones that regular people can afford.
Yeah.
And ones that wealthy people can afford.
But rehab nonetheless.
Yeah.
Because you know what? They have money, they have fame, but they have no mental stability. Because they don't possess the essentials of what the Most High gives to bring a person to life. They're still depressed. They're still somber. They're still listless. They're still inanimated. Read on.
Ye have need that one teach you again.
Go ahead.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And are become such as have need of milk.
You got to start over. Somebody got to give you this milk again.
So I'm a grown man. I gotta go back to the nipple.
I got to go back to the basics. And what's the milk? We know 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2 says what? Somebody get that, but somebody else give me the definition of Zoe. I still wanted more out of that definition.
1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2.
So, sorry. That's page 486.
Go ahead.
1 Peter chapter 2 verse 2. As newborn babes.
As what?
As newborn babes.
So now I'm 25 years old. I'm 19. I'm 38. I'm 48. I'm 58. I'm 68. It doesn't matter how old you are. You got to start where?
As newborn babes.
You got to start over. It doesn't matter. There's a time when you should have accumulated something that the Most High wanted you to get, which is the essentials, which is this word that brings you to life. You got to go back and get it. You got to start over and re-get it again because you missed it, and that's okay. He says, as newborn babes do what?
Desire.
The what?
The sincere milk.
Stop. They said the sincere milk. The Bible is referencing milk that a baby needs to survive as what? Read on.
The sincere milk of the word.
Of the word. The word is the milk. So the word of the Most High is the milk that you should have been getting from the beginning. The problem is I despise the milk because I was dull of hearing. I despised the milk because I was listless. I despised the milk because my ears were uncircumcised. So I didn't get the milk. So now that I'm 40 years old, I got to go back and get the milk. And that's what he's saying in Hebrews. Now go back to Hebrews chapter 5 and finish that, or read it one more time in verse 12.
Hebrews chapter 5 verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again.
All you have to, you mean to tell me in 40 years of living, all you have to tell people is, don't be like me. Don't do what I do. Be better than me. 40 years, that's what you got? That's about as deep as it get. Don't make the mistakes I made. That's all you got? That's about as good as it get. And then it'd be like this. Man, don't make the mistakes I made. Damn. That's even triple bad. Because now I'm hypocritical. But that's how people are. And that's why people have to start over. And that's why if anybody knows what's good for them, if I'm not as animated and full of life like I need to be, then obviously my battery's low. I need to go back and plug into the source.
I found better Zoe.
Go ahead, what you got? But hold that and finish that in 12.
It says Zoe.
Hold that. Finish that in 12. No, just hold that for a second.
You have need that one teach you again.
Go ahead.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High.
Read on.
And have become such as have need of milk.
And that milk is the word. Read on.
And not of strong meat.
And that strong meat is that discernment that comes from being obedient. That's what that meat represents. That meat is that Zoe. That Zoe, which is that essential principles. What did you have in that definition of Zoe? Essential principles of what is ethical.
Essential. Of the absolute fullness of life, both essential and ethical, which belongs to the Most High.
Which belongs to the Most High. So if I'm missing something, and mainly it's in my discretion, because that's what ethics are about. It's about morality. And I make bad decisions. I make piss poor decisions. That means I do things wrong. I think crazy thoughts. I speak crazy things, and my actions don't line up with the Bible. There's something that's off or fractured with my ethics. I'm missing something ethically. I'm missing the essentials. You know what you gotta go back to the essentials. Read on.
Verse 13.
Yeah, he said verse 13. Go ahead. I want to finish that and then get that definition. Go ahead.
For everyone that useth milk,
go ahead,
is unskillful.
Where?
In the word of righteousness.
Read on.
For he is a babe.
He is a what?
He is a babe.
I'm still, damn brother, you ain't even got the milk yet. You just now starting to read the Bible. Just beginning to read the Bible is the basics. That's the milk. You don't even have the milk. How deficient are our people as a nation when they don't even have tools for ethics? You know our people don't have the essential of ethics because they shoot each other over $5, over crap games, over dice games. They shoot each other over because you stepped on my Jordans.
Chicken sandwich.
A chicken sandwich, a jersey. I shoot you because your chain is bigger than mine, and I tried to rob you and you wouldn't give it to me. You know our people don't have no damn ethics. Or I slept with my homeboy's girlfriend. You know I don't have no ethics. Or I'm just sleeping with women just because. You know I don't have no ethics. Our people are missing so much, they're deficient. And they wonder why their spirit is drained and why they're fatigued. Why are we looking old even though I'm young? You got young men, 21, be looking old. Because their lifestyle is torn down. Read on.
Verse 14.
Go ahead.
Strong meat.
A strong meat, which is the understanding that the Most High said He's been trying to give us. This good doctrine. He said, but strong meat belongeth to who?
Belongeth to them that are of full age.
How do you know you're full age? Because you're full of life. You're animated. You're not dull. You're not listless. You're not somber. You're not inactive. You're not depressed. That's how you know you're full age. That's how you know you've been drinking enough milk to where you've been exercising this milk so much that now you're reaping the benefits of being plugged into the Most High for a long period of time. Now I'm animated and I'm full of life, and you can see who's not marked by a dull spirit or a low spirit. That's still a baby. A person that's marked by a low spirit, you a baby. You're not a full age. And it's okay. He said, but strong meat belonging to who?
Belonging to them that are of full age.
How do you know that? Read on.
Even those who by reason of use,
because they're using the milk for what purpose?
Have their senses exercised.
Because they're using the Bible to subdue their passion and to subdue their flesh. And they don't make excuses. They don't feed their flesh, they deny their flesh. They don't make excuses for why they don't change. They actually read the Bible and make changes. That's why in James it says, be not a forgetful hearer, but be a doer of the word, and not hearers only. That's how you know who's using the Bible, because they're making actual changes in life. And their spirit reaps the benefit of it. And their morality reaps the benefit of it. Their decision making reaps the benefit of it. Then you can see who's dead in the spirit versus who's alive in the spirit. Now that definition of Zoe, what you got in that last definition of Zoe, which means life in the Greek New Testament.
Zoe. It says the second definition, and it says B. It says life real and genuine. A life active and vigorous.
A life active and what?
A life active and vigorous.
Vigorous, man. You're not living life until you come to life. And the only way to come to life is that you have to be inspired by these scriptures. And you got to drink this milk and plug into these scriptures to get the understanding that the Most High has to offer you.
That's this too. And you're not going to get the benefits if you're trying to charge up with the scriptures to go do you.
Yep.
I want to charge up with the scriptures. Somebody like to charge up with the scriptures just to go chase their visions.
Yep.
Just go chase their pursuits. It don't work that way, bro. As soon as you go back to your pursuits, it's an instant battery drain. Because that spirit is for the Most High's people. That spirit is for the building of your nation.
That's to feed the ones around you.
That's to feed the camp. That's to feed the people. That's to feed your nation. That's to better your family.
That's why I read what the angel told Peter. When I let you out of this jail, he said, you get out of jail, you go teach these people, man. You know what we do when we get out of jail?
Hard.
We go hit the block, man. We go hit the block when we get out of jail. Party, have a good time, celebrate. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna celebrate when we get out of jail. He said, man, I let you out for a reason. So you can go teach these people, man. You can bring them to life. Not so you can get out and get back in the hood and get your block back and regain your status and repeat the cycle that got you in prison. But that's what we do. And I got another definition of Zoe, or life. The state of one who is possessed of vitality or is animate.
Wow.
That means a person that's in this Bible, you know they in the Bible because their spirit is alive.
You see it.
You can see it. They ain't complaining. They're not making excuses, and they're not dull. They charged up because that's what the Spirit do to you. That's what the words do to you. That's why Christ said, He said, these words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. This is what charges you up. You know who got that? Woe is me, man. I got to figure something out. I'm trying to get on my feet. Man, it's the white man's fault. Yeah, I'm always looking to blame somebody. It's always somebody else's fault. I never look at me. What am I lacking? You're lacking the essentials. But go ahead.
It says life real and genuine, not fake.
Not fake.
A life active and vigorous, not slothful. Devoted to the Most High, not unsincere, and chasing my own visions.
Yep.
Blessed, not cursed,
not
in poverty and in desolation. Because Satan's penetrated your head, Jack. He went right through your head, Jack.
Wow.
Because you opened the door. It says, in the portion even in this world of those who put their trust.
Who put their what?
Who put their trust
Where?
in Christ.
Man, that's the portion that they receive, right?
That's right here. In the portion even to this world of those who put their trust in Christ.
And you could tell who put their trust in Christ by their decision making.
God.
Because that's what it says at the end of verse 14. Finish that in 14 in Hebrews chapter 5.
Come, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
You can tell who put their trust in Christ by their decision making. You can watch a person by their decisions, and you can tell if they put their trust in Christ or not. Because their discernment exists. There's discernment and discretion involved with their choices. That's what ethics is about. But you know who don't put their trust in Christ, they live by a whole set of different rules of street rules. Get rich or die trying. Their morality is based upon street rules. Don't trust no one. Roll one deep.
Yeah. Or there's a Greek one too. Use
Caesar Day.
Caesar or
Carpe Diem.
Carpe Diem. But other ones. Caesar or death. I want all the attention, all the focus on me, or I'm dead.
YOLO. You only live once.
Yeah. YOLO. It's got to be about me.
You know what? But you can tell who's alive in the spirit and who trusts Christ because you can tell by their decisions. Their decisions will dictate. Their animation will dictate. Okay, that person believes.
Crazy, bro.
And that's what he says in Ecclesiastes on this point. Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, chapter 50. Get Ecclesiastes chapter 50. Start at verse 27 real quick.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 50 and verse 7.
27.
Jesus, the son of Sirach and of Jerusalem,
Jesus Christ is not the only Jesus in the Bible. It's Jesus, the son of Sirach of Jerusalem. Go ahead.
hath written in this book the instruction of understanding and knowledge.
He says this whole book was written for what?
In
The understanding.
The instruction of understanding and knowledge.
Go ahead.
Who out of his heart poured forth wisdom.
Read on.
Blessed is he that shall be exercised in these things.
So he says you get blessed when you exercise yourself in the Most High's wisdom. Part of that blessing is you make really, really sound decisions.
Wow.
Your ethical decision making is top tier. You make the best decisions that man can make.
Top notch.
Top notch decisions, man. Because your morality is firm. You know a sharp distinction between, man, this is a good thought, this is a bad thought. This is good behavior, that's bad behavior. This is good speech, this is bad speech. This is appropriate speech, this is not appropriate. You know that discernment. Because that discernment has been developed. And the way it's been developed is through your ability to hear and to follow instructions of wisdom. Read on.
Who out of his heart, 27, yeah.
28.
Blessed is he that shall be exercised in these things, and he that layeth them up in his heart shall become wise.
And the person that layeth up these words in his heart shall become what?
Shall become wise.
Read on.
For if he do them,
if he what?
If he do them.
See, that's not just to read the Bible, but when you do the Bible. Don't just read it, do it. He says when you do them, go ahead.
He shall be strong to all things.
He says you shall be strong to what?
To all things.
Will you be listless?
No.
Will you be inanimated? Will you be dull-spirited or low-spirited?
Nope.
Will you be depressed?
Nope.
Will you have anxiety?
Nope.
Will you have nervous problems?
Nope.
Will you be worried all day long?
Nope.
Would you be consumed with your problems?
Nope.
Or what people think about you? No. Would you have the disparaging hope and hopeless? Man, I don't know what to do. No. He said you'll be strong to all things. It don't matter if it's a pandemic, an epidemic, a damn
collapse, financial collapse,
a foreclosure,
yep.
a seizure,
divorce,
a repossession, a divorce, a collapsed household relationship. It doesn't matter what you go through in life. It says you'll be strong to all things. That means the problems that most likely tackle men and get men caught up don't bother you. They don't faze you. The problems of life that get people fearful and afraid and off their nerves where they popping pills to keep themselves stable, that don't faze you. You don't need a cigarette to calm your nerves.
Yeah.
He said because spiritually You're strong to what?
Strong to all things.
You're strong to all things. See, the Bible has been written for us to be strong to all things. But because we're dull of hearing, we never see the benefits of the Bible until it's too late. That's why it says the Jews require a sign. It's not until something fails do we pick the Bible up. It's not until something goes wrong do we now search for the understanding. Man, let me get in this Bible. Let me get in this Bible and start reading. Something's not happening right in my life. Why does it have to be to that demise to where till we get to the point where saying, you know what, I need the Most High. I need the Most High in my life. He gonna explain, but you had a question?
Definition of strong.
Go ahead.
Number 16 in 1828.
Go ahead.
Well established, firm, not easily overthrown or altered.
Not easily. Because sometimes we knock the bros out be some light stuff too. It don't be the deep things. Sometimes we see simple petty things out.
Yep. You know when Mike Tyson, I just want to bring this out. When Mike Tyson was at his best, when he was unbeatable, when he was Iron Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson said, I don't believe in talent. He says talent without discipline is useless. He said talent is good. He says, but determination and the will to win is better. You know what that means? That means that you can. He didn't believe that I'm strong enough with my natural abilities. My natural wit, my natural smarts is good enough. He said, man, that's not good enough. Your natural abilities, even he understood as a teenager, being groomed by Customato and the other guy, by being groomed by his coaches, he understood, man, I got talent, but it's nothing without discipline. You know what that means? That means I need focused concentration in order to elevate me as a person. You need focused concentration. That's the essence of abstinence. That means I push aside distractions so that I can become concentrated in my focus. So I can concentrate my efforts to where now I solidify myself and reap the benefits of gaining the wisdom of the Most High. That means I'm willing to push all things aside so that I can become strong to all things. So I'm not tripping in the head when the economy crashes, when the dollar drops to nothing, which is real close.
Close to the thing?
Yeah, it's real close.
Discipline is like denying oneself.
Exactly. Or locking yourself into a routine that's uncomfortable. You know, but read this right quick. Go to Jeremiah 14:10 real quick.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 10.
Because you know what that means? That means discipline is like, you know what? I'm not going to give myself to what I want because I'm dedicating myself and I'm working hard for something greater. That means I'm locking myself into a routine. I mean, if I'm Mike Tyson, that means I'm in the gym doing jump rope and I'm doing thousands of sit-ups, I'm putting the punching bag, I'm hitting the speed bag. I'm doing all these things over and over until it's second nature. I'm putting myself in this mind frame of commitment. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes to serve the Most High. Except for we like to put that attention to music. We'll be in the studio. We'll buy studio time. We'll sell drugs to buy studio time.
That's crazy.
So I get that studio, so I get the beats, get in there and lay these tracks down. Man, we know the discipline that it takes. I write rhymes on time. My notebook is full. We understand this. But our people, when it comes to serving the Most High, we give them part-time love. We give them part-time attention. So therefore, we reap part-time benefits. Yeah. So therefore, you're only halfway strong. Since you're only halfway study, you're only halfway strong. Because what's wrong? What does the Most High know about us more than he knows about the Greeks? He said the Jews require a sign, the Greeks seek after wisdom. What does he know about us? What does the Most High know about us? Read this right here.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 7.
Read that.
O Lord, though our iniquities testify against us.
He says, I know you know what's wrong with us. You know us better than anybody. He says, our mistakes testify against us. Our decision making testifies against us. Our sins testify against us. Read on.
Do thou it for my name's sake, for our backslidings are many.
Go ahead.
We have sinned against thee.
He said, we have what?
Sinned against thee.
We always got crooked ways. Leave it up to the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American. They're always going to be on some crooked stuff. They're always going to be doing something crooked. Just to prove that. Go to Hosea chapter 12 real quick. Go to Hosea chapter 12 and start at verse 2.
Hosea chapter 12, verse 2.
No, start at verse 1 real quick.
Hosea chapter 12, verse 1.
Read that.
Ephraim feedeth on wind.
It says, we always like to put our trust in something unstable. We believe in anything unstable. We'll believe in magic. We'll believe in superstition. We'll believe in any damn thing. Feelings, emotions. Ephraim, the reason why he's choosing Ephraim and Judah in this particular sense is because he's talking about the leaders of the two sides of both nations, both tribes. I mean, of the southern tribe of Judah and the northern kingdom of Israel. Both houses of Israel, he's depicting them as being summed up in this way. When he says Ephraim, he's talking about the 10 tribes, 9.5 tribes. When he's talking about Judah, he's talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. So-called Negroes, Benjamin being the Jamaicans and West Indians, and then Levi being the Haitians. So he's put them in two categories. He says, this is how the Most High knows we're full of crap. He says Ephraim is always doing what?
Ephraim feedeth on wind.
They love superstition, they love voodoo, they love herbalaria, they love brujeria, they love santeria, they love getting the cleansing, they love believing in magic. What he said, they feed on the wind. They'll believe in a potion and a heartbeat. They'll come up with a potion and a heartbeat.
Anything but the Most High.
Anything but the Most High. He said they feed on wind. Read on.
And followeth after the east wind.
Go ahead.
He daily increaseth lies.
He said Ephraim being the so-called 10 tribes always be what?
Increasing in lies.
He know us, man. He know us like the back of our hand, back of his hand. He said we always lying. The 10 tribes be lying. They be lying all the damn time. And what else?
He daily increaseth lies and desolation.
And what?
And desolation.
And I keep losing.
Yep. Read on.
And they do make a covenant with the Assyrians.
Meaning they always love to worship the other gods of other nations. They'll believe in the other gods and of the other nations more than they believe in the Most High.
And this is crazy on an archaeological level. We know that the Native Americans, they went through they were going through like some of the burial items out, and they looked up and they found what's that item? It was
Assyrian.
It was an Assyrian lion.
Yeah.
With the wings out.
With a griffin.
They found a griffin. That had nothing to do with the Americans.
Yeah. A griffin is the symbol of the Assyrian Empire.
They actually
the chief city being Nineveh.
Cause you know that little medicine bags out?
Yeah.
They went to the medicine bag. I think it was Crispy. He's he's an Italian, whatever, priest, and he had all these artifacts out. And they found the Native American tribe. They went to the medicine bag and opened up. The guy said, "I don't know what this is. It was just passed down from my ancestors."
So what is it? What is Native Americans doing with the Assyrian griffin eye?
They had an Assyrian. It had to come up with bow tie.
Yeah.
It had an Assyrian griffin. They had been in the Americas for 1,000 years.
Right.
They don't let go. They don't let go of that.
But that's what
Assyrian
he's
culture.
saying. He said the 10 tribes love to adopt the culture of these other nations, these heathens.
Wow.
But Judah ain't no different. Read verse 2.
They be lying too.
Verse 2. The Most High hath also a controversy with Judah.
The Most High got a problem with Judah, the so-called Negro too. What's wrong with Judah?
And will punish Jacob according to his ways, according to his doings will he recompense him.
And what does he be doing all the time? Read verse 7.
Verse 7. He is a merchant.
He always selling something.
Yep.
Judah love to sell something.
Hustle.
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 Hard.
That's all they want to do.
That's all they want to do. That's all they want to do is hustle. He's always selling. He's a merchant. The 10 tribes be lying and worshiping other deities, and Judah always trying to get over on somebody, scheming, finessing, hitting licks, winning, coming up, trying to get over on somebody. He said Judah is a what?
He is a merchant.
Go ahead.
the balances of deceit.
And he always got something where he gets the victory.
Flim flamming.
He's always flim flamming and scamming out. Scammers out. Judah is the scammers.
Are you talking Judah as a nation?
No,
or?
Judah, the so-called Negroes, Benjamin and Levi.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The southern tribe of Judah.
Okay.
So he's saying that this be their mentality. They love scamming. They be scamming. We know that. We know what's going on in the underground right now.
Yeah.
Scamming damn near has replaced the drug industry.
Yeah.
I'ma fix your credit. Yeah, right.
You fix my credit,
You ain't
bro.
touching my credit.
I'll fix my own credit.
let me fix your credit. Okay, so you can run up some numbers and run up some cards and then crash them and then jump on some trade lines. Yes, sir.
Nah, there was a rapper recently that he went to federal prison because he had lied about his income tax. I mean, not income tax, but the COVID taxes that
The
PPP loans.
Yeah,
PPP loans.
Playing
Yeah,
games.
he was showing it in the video.
He was
How
stunting
he was
PPP loans.
stealing on
Yeah, and they just went ahead and popped them.
yeah, they had
Got
popped
it.
them.
Or income taxes, period.
Yeah.
They do that too. Income tax scams too. They had your social security number floating around all kind of states. Using your social security number. Identity theft. Now you gotta get LifeLock, put a lock on your credit. Judah do that to you, man. They do it when you can't file taxes.
You gotta get
you under
LifeLock.
investigation. Judah had your credit. They had your credit and your taxes being audited every year for 3 years straight.
That's real deal.
He said, "What's wrong with
Yeah,
Judah?
merchant.
Read on. He's a what?
He is a merchant.
What else?
The balances of deceit are in his hand.
He does what?
He loveth to oppress.
He loved to what?
To oppress.
He loved to win, man. I got you. I beat you. You was a sucker. I beat you. He loved to win, man. He gonna get you, bro.
There's
He's
some
an overcomer.
ruthless ones out like that.
But that's our people. The Most High notice about our people. Now let that go back to where was that in Jeremiah?
Shark, is your phone?
You heard it?
Yep. Read that.
You want me to read 7 again? Or
Yeah, read 7 again.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 7. O Lord, through our iniquities testify against us.
Go ahead.
Do thou it for thy name's sake.
Go ahead.
For our backslidings are many.
Go ahead.
We have sinned against thee.
Go ahead.
O the hope of Israel, the Savior thereof in time of trouble. Why shouldest thou be as a stranger in the land?
Jeremiah is begging the Most High, man, don't be a stranger to us. We need you. But the Most High said, listen, I'll abandon you. I'll turn my back on you.
That's the first thing he'll
That's
do.
the first thing he'll do is turn his back
Not
on
the
you.
second.
And then he'll curse your habitation and strip you and make you desolate. So Jeremiah is pleading the Most High to change his mind. Read on.
And as a wayfaring man that turneth aside to tarry for a night.
He says, don't be like a stranger and only come to visit for a night. He says, dwell with us. Don't just come for one night and be with us and be gone. Read on.
Why shouldest thou be as a man astounded, as a mighty man that cannot save?
He's begging the Most High, I know you're a mighty man, but why be a mighty man that can do us no good as a people? I know what you're capable of. Don't be like a mighty man that cannot help and he cannot save. Read on.
Because wasn't that what the Most High saved Peter for?
Yeah.
He saved Peter for the purpose of going ahead and
Spreading this word of life to other people, bringing people to life with his words, with his teaching. That's why he spared him out of jail. Read on.
Yet thou, O Lord, art in the midst of us.
He said, but be in the midst of us. Read on.
And we are called by thy name.
Go ahead.
Leave us not.
Don't leave us stranded, man. That's what Jeremiah is begging the Most High. Don't leave us alone. Don't turn your back on us. Don't leave us stranded. He already left us in the hand of our enemies. But what does the Most High say to Jeremiah about this? Read on.
Thus saith the Lord unto this people.
He said, but I know these people very well.
He knows something well.
I know these people very well. What does the Most High say about us?
Thus have they loved to wander.
He said
They love to wander.
They love to what?
That's crazy.
They love to wander.
Israel loves to be Israelites and experiment with different concepts, philosophies, ideals, lifestyles, or what if scenarios. They look at other people's lives. It's called the monkey brain. It's where they want to imitate other people. Whoever they're around, they want to imitate. Oh man, he's a basketball player. I could do that. He's acting. I could do a little acting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he got that good job. I can get a job.
I'm smart.
Oh, I'm smart too. You go to school, man. I need to go to school and get good speed records too. Oh, you got that female? I bet you I get it too.
I can pull it too.
I can pull it too. This whole life is just bouncing. If you're not wandering across the earth trying to take vacations and BS time and waste energy, you have different social groups, and you're like a butterfly, a social butterfly, looking for different stimulation points to emulate, to make yourself feel good. They cover with the covering, but not of my spirit. You collect different little data points and philosophies and ideals. You get little trinkets. You collect people's trinkets, things that you think that might make you better, versus collecting spiritual information and virtues. You're gonna collect something. You're gonna collect virtues, spiritual information, or you're gonna bounce around, float around, wander around, and collect trinkets and decorate yourself. Yeah, I'm a little bit this. I'm kind of a Moor. I'm kind of Asiatic. I'm kind of a Christian. I kind of do a little Buddhism. You know, I've been to school here. I meditate a little bit. I'm wise. You know, I like this music, that music.
You know, Pan-Africanism.
I'm Pan-African. I have multiple genres I'm into. I'm eclectic. I'm sophisticated. I'm different. And then you look at your web searches. You're all over the place, man. The spirit's all over the world. Where are you at?
Yeah.
You're wandering.
But get that definition of wandering.
I got you. To ramble here and there.
To what?
To ramble here and there.
And this is why our people are unstable. This is why the Most High knows about us, man. We like to ramble here and there. What else?
Without any certain course.
We like to be on our own course. We don't like to follow a particular course. That's why we drop out of school. We can barely finish high school and college. Because you know why? Because we ramble. We don't stay on track for nothing. We're the masters of having 10 different jobs and have not accumulated anything in any of those jobs.
That's crazy.
We're the masters of being. I used to work there too. Yeah, you worked there too? Yeah, I used to do that. I used to cook. I used to do that too. Damn, you did that too? You was a mechanic and a cook?
Damn, you was the perfect.
You was a cooking mechanic. You can fix cars, refrigerators, and you can do a souffle. And you can bake. You can make a mean damn goddamn what do you call them?
Baked zucchini, baked ziti?
Nah, the damn French eclairs, the chocolate donuts.
Oh
with the
my
cream
God.
in it. Damn, brother, you got skills upon skills. You got cooking skills, mechanical skills. You got all kind of knowledge. Didn't master none
He's
of
a
it.
photographer too, isn't he?
Yeah, brother, you didn't open your own restaurant? No, I changed my mind. Like, damn, brother. Oh, you're an 8th year student, and you're still trying to figure out what your major's gonna be.
Come.
But you've been in college. You've been burning through loans.
Yeah.
You're living off school loans, but you ain't never finished because I'm still trying to decide what I want to do. Yeah, you ain't figured it out yet? You know how the Most High know about us? He said Israel loves to do what?
Wander.
Israel loves to wander.
They love to wander, bro. They don't find something that they're good at, lock into it, especially when it comes to serving the Most High. They don't find something that they're good at, lock into it and stay in and remain in there with discipline. See, the Greeks even got more discipline than us. Because they know how to put themselves in schools of thought and little think tanks. We don't do that, man. We tried the Boy Scouts. We tried I tried the college thing. I was a so-and-so, Delta, Alpha, so-and-so. You know, I was part of the sorority fraternity. I tried this, I tried that. I'm doing this. I switched this job. I made a career change. I made a lifestyle change. I've lived in this city, that city. I'm just looking. I'm all over the place. But the Most High knows that about us. We don't sit still.
Yes.
And that definition of wonder is what?
For amusement or exercise.
For amusement or exercise, what else?
To be delirious, not to be under the guidance of reason.
Not to be under the guidance of reason, what else?
To stray, to deviate, to depart from duty or rectitude.
We always quit.
Depart from duty.
We don't even stay long enough to get benefits. We quit a job in a heartbeat. I don't like the boss, man. I ain't like the way he's talking to me, man. The pay wasn't that strong. You didn't even wait it out. You didn't get through training. But that's us.
I wasn't feeling the energy.
I wasn't feeling the energy. Yeah, the energy wasn't good at that place. You know what I'm saying? Everybody moving over here to this company. Yes, sir.
It says also unfaithful to one's partner in marriage.
It says
Wow.
unfaithful to one's partner in marriage to wander. He said this is what the Most High knows about us. What else we got?
It says lose clarity or turn aside, especially from the main subject or of attention or course.
So now what I got for wonder is I got something a little different. It says to a vagabond.
Yeah.
Right? Anybody got that?
That's what a wanderer does.
That's what a wanderer does, a vagabond.
A vagabond.
Moving from place to place.
It says Israel likes to move from where?
From place to place.
We don't stick and fight it out anywhere. We go to karate. We get to like a yellow belt or orange belt, and we never go all the way to the black belt, man. That's just our nature. We move from place to place, a wanderer, a vagabond, what else?
Vagrant.
Without any settled habitation.
Without any settled what?
Habitation.
We don't set no roots down. Read on.
Floating about.
Floating. This is what Israel loves to do.
Toss to and fro.
Yeah. Damn, man.
It says
Floating about without any certain direction.
That's what we love.
No direction.
Yep.
No instruction. Because directions and instructions are
Yep.
very synonymous.
That means I can't be contained. That means I get to exercise my will. And as soon as I don't like something, I get to up and bounce.
I like the liberty of that.
And I like the liberty.
Men enjoy that.
I like the
power of doing
I like
it.
the freedom.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. I like the freedom of being able to come and go as I please.
Right.
But the Most High says you'll never get wisdom that way. You'll never get wisdom being a floater. You know, I was a Buddhist, like you said. I was a Catholic. I was a 7-day Adventist. I was a Mormon. I'm 5%. I'm a 5%er. I'm 5% of all knowledge. Now you're a 5%er. Now you got the fez on. You got the Ankh, and then you got the Hebrew shield necklace on.
Which one do you want to do?
Star
bro?
David on. You got all this mixed philosophy going on.
Come.
And then you got crystal stones in your pocket, saying that I'm getting energy through the stones. You know, our people be on some whatever sounds cool. And whatever sounds like it's whatever the end thing is, that's what we about.
It's trending.
Whatever's trending.
This is trending.
yeah.
Man, the Most High said I know these people very well. They don't lay down no roots nowhere. They like to come and go as they please. They want freedom. They want liberty. That's what they want. See, the Most High knows us better than we do. Because He created us. Read that again. In Jeremiah.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 10. Thus saith the Lord unto this people, thus have they loved to wander.
He says, thus have they loved to what?
To wander.
Go ahead.
They have not refrained their feet.
They have not refrained
Wow.
their feet. Means to keep yourself in check.
Wow.
To refrain means to keep in check. That means they don't keep themselves in check. They like to be wild. They like to be untamed. They like to be off the chain, like we say in lingo. Man, I like, you know what I'm saying, that place off the chain. Yeah, we like to be off the chain.
Free.
We want to be free. We want freedom from restraint. But the problem is, when it comes to having and possessing discipline, now because you've lived this carefree lifestyle and you've wandered about in life and you've never actually solidified anything, now you get to the point where you're aged, you're a dad, you're a father, you're a grandpa, you got grandkids, you're an uncle, you're an aunt, and you have nothing to give the people around you. Because all you did was float your whole life. You have nothing to offer any type of wisdom to anybody around you because you floated your whole life. You have nothing to give anybody. You have nothing to share with anybody. But you can show them how to smoke. You can tell them how to roll a blunt in one hand. You can show them how to put hair on their chest with some drink. You can show them how to shoot dice and play spades. That's about as good as you. That's what the uncle's for.
Bad influence.
Man, that's it. That's good as you got. That's all you've accumulated in your 40-something, 50-something years on earth. because you wanted to float. You didn't want to refrain your feet. See, when you get wisdom, when it's time to occupy wisdom and to get instruction, you got to lock yourself down and give this concentrated effort. The same thing Mike Tyson said. That's why Mike Tyson said, man, I don't believe in talent. I believe in discipline and a will to win and determination. That exceeds talent.
He was telling the truth, bro.
Tyson said they all said he was too short, he was too small, and his frame wasn't. He didn't have a big enough frame to fight in the heavyweight division. That was a lie. With determination, with a will to win, with discipline, with hardcore training, look what he was able to accomplish in the flesh. How much more can you accomplish in the spirit if you choose to refrain your feet and keep yourself disciplined? Because the Greeks do it. And the Bible is not even for the Greeks.
Can I pull some more quick?
God.
Jeremiah 17 and verse 5 and 6.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 5.
Because you're going to that wanderer.
Thus saith the Lord, Cursed be the man that trusteth in man,
Read on.
and maketh flesh his arm.
I'm into my flesh. I'm into my desire. I'm into my impulses.
Yep.
I'm impulsive. Read.
And whose heart departeth from the Lord.
Because my heart depart from the Most High. My mind's not on the Most High. I'm unattentive. I'm not attending. I'm listless. I have uncircumcised ears. Read.
For he shall be like the heath in the desert.
He shall be like a what?
Like the heath in the desert.
He should be like the heath in the desert. The word heath is an area of open, uncultivated land. I'm uncultivated. I'm just that garbage grass. I'm just that crazy monkey grass out here.
Yeah.
It's just not. There's no form to me. When you look up a heath, it's just land with no formation. Just multiple grasses.
Unnurtured.
Unnurtured.
Spotty, got some cactus over here, some tumbleweeds over there.
Yeah, it's not like a garden that's like organized and structured.
Yeah, structured.
It's
yielding fruit.
Yeah, yielding fruit, structure. Everything's beneficial here.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
It's just different grasses at different heights.
Yeah.
It's dry.
Arid.
Arid, dry. There's a bunch of sticker bugs and cucker bugs in there, stickers in there. This place, you can't inhabit this place. This place is uninhabitable.
Undeveloped land.
It's unbeneficial. And then when you try to put some spirit to it, you gotta go through layers and layers of this hard dirt, because it's hard-headed. Read.
And shall not see when good cometh.
And that's why you're not gonna see when good comes, because you can't be cultivated.
And you reject discipline. And there's more. We're gonna go ahead and finish this next week on Wednesday. We got class again. Come through. We got class again on Friday, but we'll finish this particular topic on Wednesday next week. Come through on Friday. We got class again on Friday. So we want to say Tawada for watching for those online, and Tawada for those, which means thank you for those that came to class. We're gonna end it, and if you missed something, you can catch us on YouTube. We got a YouTube channel we're recording right now. You can always go back, revisit, rewind. If there's a definition you missed, you can go back and revisit it, rewind it, pause it at your own discretion, write it down, take notes, so on and so forth. So we want to say Tawada for watching. And with that, we're going to go and say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, so that's going to go ahead and end class. We'll go ahead and cut it right there.